Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to ReelTok episode 61. I am Stat, as always, alongside my gorgeous co-hosts, Mr. Seth and Mr. Tyler. Cam is running a bit late. He will join us hopefully within the next 10 minutes. We have a pretty packed episode for you guys today. We got two new releases we want to talk about, The Marvels and David Fincher's The Killer. Cam and I will touch on the Loki finale, as well as just kind of give you quick thoughts on episodes 1 and 2 of Invincible. We're not going to really go into that too deep. We're going to save our real spoilery thoughts for when the entire season is out and when, the episode post finale, just like we're going to do today with Loki. We got some trailers we want to talk about. We got some movie news we want to talk about. We're going to talk about our favorite fight scenes in movies, because obviously if you've seen The Killer, you know that there's, maybe the best fight scene of the year in that movie, maybe the last couple of years. So yeah, big episode for you guys today. So let's just get right into it, gentlemen. How have we been? Tyler, how was the week?
Been a solid week. Pretty standard for most things work-wise. Yesterday, Riley and I went to an aquarium. So
I saw that on Riley's story.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, pretty okay. It's there's this one part of the aquarium that was pretty dope. It was they said it was the only place in America that has this. It wasn't anything special, but it was we went into this room. I don't know, I feel like most zoos or aquariums have little theaters where they just show little informational videos or whatever. So there's a little movie theater in there. So we just went in there and sat down. We're we don't know what this is, but whatever, we'll check it out. And then this dude's welcome to this ride. You're gonna be on it for 20 minutes and then you'll be off. And then we're what the hell do we just get into? It was just a movie. It wasn't an actual ride, but it was a rotating platform that there's basically 6 different stops, and it just rotate the whole platform to different up close big tanks that would just immerse you right in the middle of a shark, and then Shark Tank, and then you'll just rotates you to this next aquarium tank, and then it's sea lions and stuff, and it's just pretty dope, honestly. Basically just nice chill way, because zoos and aquariums you're walking around all day, so it's kind of nice to just be just go sit down, and then it just rotates you around a bunch of different things. So it was overall a solid day. Just kind of hung out in Scottsdale, did some other fun things, and other than that, the week was pretty standard. Then today is going to be a big college football and work on stuff day, just a big work weekend, catching up on stuff. So yeah, pretty standard overall.
Very nice. Seth, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I mentioned to you guys last week I was going to Leeds Film Festival to see Monster and Anatomy of Fall. If you saw my stories, I didn't go because I got there, they didn't have my press pass ready. And then it took ages. Then I missed Anatomy of Fall, and I was right, I'm not staying in Leeds for 5 fucking hours because that's ridiculous to my next screening. So that was really annoying. Got some more tickets sorted out. I'm going to see The Holdovers with Paul Giamatti next week, which I've been hearing really, really good stuff about, because we don't get that until it's a Christmas film, isn't it? It's a Christmas film.
Yeah.
We don't get that until end of January. It's pretty good. I've got it next week. Watched a few films. Pretty really just busy work week. Like I mentioned to you guys, I've had some more responsibilities and stuff. So just really, really crazy busy. But that's about it. Just pretty standard this week. Nothing special.
I feel I feel like our group chat was a little more silent this week in terms of personal stuff. I feel like everyone was just kind of locked into work, not really much going on.
I am going to say this. Soon, me and Anna are going to book to travel somewhere from a film.
New York.
Guess where? What?
New York.
No, it's close. It's close.
Is it in the UK?
No.
Okay, so it's further than the UK, but closer than America.
Indiana.
I'm gonna guess Vienna for Before Sunrise. Final answer, locking it in.
Vienna.
Isn't Vienna Austria where the Before Sunrise takes place?
I've been there actually. Yeah, it is.
You're going to see a new release?
No, well, I'll just tell you because you're not going to fucking get it. I'm going to the hopefully we're going to book this weekend. Going to the island of Inisherin, the actual island.
I was going to guess that.
Nice.
You can visit. The guy actually owns the pub there, and you can go and have a drink in the bar. You can go to all the sites and stuff like that. And the little house on the beach kind of thing.
The one that got burned down.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're gonna try and visit that.
I hope
You're gonna go burn it down.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of wild.
No, I hope
Not
the tourist
wild.
attractions like walk into the pub and it's like, we'll cut off your finger. Like, stick your finger here to be like Colin from the movie.
Is there a place to watch the movie while you're there, or you're just going for the attractions?
I don't know. Maybe because there's a little town next to it. Maybe
That'd be cool. There's got to be
might.
one movie theater that just shows that movie on repeat all day.
whilst you're there, imagine like outside. That'd be crazy. Although that'd be fucking cold actually. But like
It would be cool.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's I think we're gonna try and put that in for the next couple months or so.
Well, that's fun. Book a trip to New York now.
I don't care about New York, man. You know I don't.
Yeah, but I'm here.
I go to London all the time. That is New York. We've discussed this.
Oh, stop. Very different cities. Cam, how are
How's
you?
it going? Good. I'm tired.
Always. I'm exhausted.
Easy week. No complaints. Got like 2 shots the other day, like flu shot. And got the COVID shot. You know, we got the sun, gotta get shots and everything. So yesterday was just hell. It was just like the worst day ever. You know how if you get like the flu shot, you're achy the next day because like your body's fighting it, right? Or do you guys not get that? Because
No, I get it.
Emma and I were just screwed. I don't personally feel I get sick. Maybe Emma has a different opinion, so I don't normally get shots. So I'm not like used to this. But it was just like the worst day ever, like just achy. And the whole time I'm like, but feel a lot better today. I did completely forget at like 9:30 today, Emma is going to a doctor's appointment. So I've got Bailey today. So I'll be in and out just for year 3's purposes, but we'll try to put him in here and see if he enjoys that enough. Good week. Otherwise, been grinding Harry Potter. I've been like an iPad kid this week. I'm sure Emma is not a fan of that, but it's been a good week. Work's been good. Working long hours, but yesterday I left a little early just because I was a little sick, like I said. Nothing crazy really going on at all. I just kind of going through the days. But hopefully going to kick off and get a little crazier towards like Thanksgiving and Christmas time because all the family likes to see the kid and stuff like that. So it's just got to get ready, got to get mentally prepared for that, for all the family that we're going to have to see and everything. But otherwise, good.
Are you and Emma going to start hosting holidays?
Hell no. I offered and Emma said no because like Emma, she's not wrong. She would do the cooking. I would try to help. I'm just not good at cooking. All right. I would try to help. I like to think I wouldn't be like the asshole guy who's like sitting on the couch watching football. I'd have it on, but I would try to help. I just can't cook for the life of me. I make a mean steak and that's about it. And so I offered and got shot down pretty much immediately. But one day, maybe.
Fair. My week was fine. I guess just like yours, just fairly not boring, just nothing much going on outside of work, really. Got to see the Marvels. That was really like my only out of the house moment this week. I didn't really go out, didn't really do much, just kind of work and relaxed all week. Caught up on some movies on my watch list that I wanted to watch, which we'll go over in a second. But yeah, fairly standard. Busier week at work, so I was just working a little later than usual this week. So tired by the end of the day. Didn't really have the motivation to do much. But yeah, like Cam said, hopefully that changes up a bit as the holidays come around. Get a little busier, get a little more active. But yeah, let's go through what we've been watching because I know we want to jump into our review. I'm sure the killer review will take up a good chunk of our time. So Seth, what have you been watching lately?
Not much this week. Well, for me anyway, I watched The Boogeyman, which was the one on Disney Plus or Hulu for you guys. Very mediocre standard horror. I think
The remake, right?
Is it a remake?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The woman
I don't know. I feel like the story's been done before. At least.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the woman.
I thought it was the only because I know it's a Stephen King adaptation. I didn't know if it was a first one, or maybe it was. Yeah, very just boring, dull.
David Dastmalchian appearance. I wish he was in it more. He was creepy, and then like he's in it for like 3 minutes once again. I guess his schedule's so busy that's all he can give to these movies this year. But
yeah, I watched Hypnotic, Robert Rodriguez's new film. Oh,
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'm a defender of Robert Rodriguez usually. Well, not all his films, but usually. And I think that was like, it's my second lowest of the year as of right now. Like, it was really, really, really bad.
What's your lowest right now?
Exorcist Believer, actually.
Oh, wow. Didn't you just feel like Hypnotic was like 4 other movies just like pieced together?
It was like
they tried to make the ending like almost like Interstellar with the whole like
Shutter
time loop
Island.
stuff. I was like, well, this is like just like pulling everything from like popular
Inception.
movies.
It was like so crazy derivative. It's unbelievable. And it was just such a bore as well. Like, I was so bored watching it. It wasn't even like dumb fun. It was just terrible. Watched The Towel, which obviously reviewed. Watched How to Have Sex. People had fun in the comments with that, you know, as the maturity of my followers goes. But that was great. That's like in my top 10 of the year so far. I'm not sure when you guys get it in the US, but like, that's like a must watch in my opinion. Really, really great, especially on British culture and consent and peer pressure and stuff like that. Rewatched Prisoner of Azkaban yesterday.
Yeah.
I won't touch it too much, but I moved it over to a 5-star.
Yeah,
So-
I was gonna ask that has not always been a 5-star for you, right?
No, it was
Okay.
I don't know why it wasn't a 5, because I knew I loved it, but it's been like a year, and I was like, oh, I'll just put it 4.5 for now. But then I watched it, I was like, I love this show.
Movie bangs.
It's so good. And then the Marvels, which obviously we will discuss.
was that a 5-star for you too?
No, 4.5.
Ah, that's what I figured. Tyler, what have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching a few things this week. Watched the Sylvester Stallone documentary that came out on Netflix, Sly. Pretty interesting stuff. Just like kind of cool, like seeing how like Rocky came to be and how his whole career kind of unfolded, and obviously how he's just such like a crazy guy who's sacrificed his body a million times for movies and just pushes things probably too far. But he's just it just seems like all he cares about in life is, I mean, what he admits in the movie is like just making movies, and he like doesn't really dedicate a ton of time to his family. And he's always like, I wish I would spend more time with my family, but like film his life, you know. Watched Freelance, new release with John Cena and Alison Brie, and it's about exactly what you'd expect it to be. Pretty bad. Watched the Eras Tour movie, which obviously is just like Taylor Swift concert. Solid. Like I was working on stuff. I was like, you know, I just want to like listen to some music, but like might as well knock off a new release while I'm at it. So just like, because you're basically just listening to music the whole time. It's nothing really much more than that. Watch that Butcher's Crossing film that they like try to like get on their hands and knees and beg every film talker to review for like 2 nickels. But didn't do it for any like reason other than just like watching it as like a movie. It was fine. It was like honestly better than I expected, but still like a 3 out of 5. Nick Cage is like barely Nick Cage in it, which is fine. Like seeing more refrained performances from him is cool, but like, why are you casting Nick Cage at that point if you're just gonna have him be like a normal dude? I feel like you kind of hire him specifically to be like give you at least 1 or 2 good outbursts. Started to slowly watch more Sofia Coppola films after Priscilla because I really enjoyed Priscilla. So I started with The Bling Ring just because I saw it on Netflix one night. I was like, oh, might as well watch this. I know it's like one of her lowest films for most people, but I still enjoyed it. So if this is like the one that a lot of people like dislike the most, then I'm surely in for some good treats here. So gave it a 3-star. Watched Naiad because I saw a lot of people reviewing that new release this year. Netflix movie, similar kind of like to The Swimmers last year that Cam and I watched. It's another like movie heavily based on swimming. That's a true story. That's like an incredible thing from our history of a woman who just tried to swim from Cuba to America, which is like a 100-mile swim, took like 70 hours straight, and she did it when she was like 65 years old. So crazy, just 72 hours straight of swimming. Like no one's allowed to touch you. Like you're just in the water the entire time, like with sharks and jellyfish and all that. Just insane. I was watching it while I was working out, so it was like whatever I'm doing right now is a lot easier than this. So it was a nice watch while you're working out. Just kind of be like, yeah, at least I'm not, doing that. Let's see what else. Watch Foe, that new like Paul Mescal, Saoirse Ronan movie.
Yeah.
It's based off a book, so like it's not like derivative or anything because like it's it's based off a book. It's not copying other movies, I guess, but still like it's literally like Beyond the Sea episode from Black Mirror, the one with Aaron Paul and Josh Hartnett. So it's like they had to be pissed when that came out this year because they're like, shit, this is like our exact movie. And the director was like definitely really horny for both Paul Mescal and Saoirse Ronan because like so many so many just shots where I'm just like, this dude's just like really likes looking at their bodies. But it was very, very meh at best. And even like Paul Mescal, I really love. He had like one cool monologue in this, but there's honestly a lot of moments in this where I was like, I don't know if I'm like loving this performance from you. So, but nothing's ever Saoirse Ronan's fault, so never gonna blame her. Then I watched Fingernails, which I just wrote up the review on Letterboxd just like this morning. I was wondering why like a new Apple TV Plus movie that has Jesse Buckley, Riz Ahmed, Jeremy Allen White, Annie Murphy, and Luke Wilson, like a stacked cast. I was like, why is no one talking about this? It just came out on Apple TV Plus, but I don't see anyone watching it.
I saw that the other day, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I haven't even
like
heard
stacked
of it.
cast.
Yeah,
But it was very, very okay. Like it's just like kind of like a dystopian, futuristic movie about like getting your matchmaking, finding love. The way they do it is by yanking out your fingertips and like doing like DNA analysis on it. And I'm like, they never show it on camera, but still, it's like it made me like cringe more than any Saw movie. Like just seeing like they never actually showed it on camera, but you see like the people's face and you just hear like a sound effect of a dude like just yanking someone's fingernail off. I'm like, oh god. So is there no better way to get the DNA than yanking someone's fingernail off? But I guess love hurts, man. Love is pain. But yeah, then of course obviously watch The Marvels and The Killer for prepping for this episode today. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
Cam, anything other than Harry Potter?
Yeah, I watched Across the Spider-Verse this week. Started my week with that because it got put on Netflix, and I'm like, it's a banger. It still hits. Harry Potter, which I won't dive into because we're doing a Harry Potter episode. Recording that tomorrow. I got a surprise for y'all for tomorrow, but
Oh god,
the people of ReelTok won't see that till Thanksgiving weekend, the 27th.
I hope it's you like dressing up as Hermione and Goblet of Fire. It'd be pretty cool. You know when she walks downstairs.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. What else? Oh, The Killer. I'm like 20 minutes left. I tried grinding it last night. I fell asleep while watching it last night just because it got so late, and then I tried getting up early and watching it this morning, but didn't get up early enough. So I have like 20 minutes left in The Killer. I almost considered watching it at 1.5 times speed just to say I got 20 minutes left. It wasn't that bad. I can still have some sort of discussion about it unless there's some crazy twist in there. The Marvels, Invincible, Loki. I don't know if those are on the rundown, George, but we can talk those.
They are. Definitely got to talk Loki.
Boys, I think was last week. Did we talk that? Maybe sorry, not The Boys. Gen V.
Gen V. I haven't watched Gen V yet.
I
know. I was
all over though.
I was behind on Loki. I was behind on Invincible. I'm behind on Gen V. I like haven't been up to speed on
I'm
any
just
of
gonna
these.
get we're behind, and we're not the resident Gen V podcast. I believe I'm the only one that's watched it. Gen V is good. It's very good. It's a really, really good show. It doesn't have the Homelander factor, like where Anthony Starr is delivering a absurdly like Oscar-worthy performance as Homelander, and he's just batshit insane. Like I like the characters, but they don't have a Homelander. They don't have a Billy Butcher who you just like absolutely love. And I think that is a weak point of the show, and like I wasn't super pulled towards it. I didn't watch it until the season finale. I watched like the first 2-3 episodes, and then I caught up right before the finale. And then I didn't end up watching the finale until like
last not as good as the male.
What's the timeline on Gen V? Like, does it run parallel?
It's right after season 3, and then season 4 of The Boys will pick up like one day or like 2 days after.
I thought it was like a prequel or something.
No, the final episode like runs into the Boys season 4, and then the Boys season 4 will run right into season 2 of Gen V.
Did the stories overlap? I thought it was a completely separate thing.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, it's in the universe, but the stories, like, yeah, it's like a connected. It's you don't have to watch Gen V to understand what's going on in The Boys. But
do you have to watch The Boys?
Yeah, I assume. Okay, wait. No, I don't think you have to watch either, but I think it benefits you to watch both. Yeah, like I don't think you have to, but I think it benefits. That's my one complaint with Gen V, though, is that it doesn't have like that X factor that is like Homelander or Billy Butcher, or even like actually Soldier Boy is in Gen V. There's a spoiler, George.
Soldier Boy.
Damn it!
But yeah,
I thought you were talking about Soldier Boy. Wait, Soldier Boy.
No, other than that, I did forget this. yesterday. No, no.
Oh.
Yesterday was my mom's birthday. Shout out my mom.
Oh, happy
Yeah,
birthday.
She's
Happy
in
birthday.
Texas, so I figured I should say that. But yeah, that's what I've been watching. I'm sure there's maybe something else and that I've forgotten.
Some baby movies.
Yeah, probably. Just a lot of Bluey. Bluey's great. Bluey's awesome. You gotta watch Bluey.
Start logging these on Letterboxd.
Bluey's not. It's a TV show. It's like 7-minute episodes. It's like 7 minutes each episode. It's very, very quick.
All right.
Yeah.
For me, kind of a big coming of age week. I rewatched Sunshine because that's going to be our real quick review this week. So anyone listening, if you want to be a part of that review, watch Sunshine, one of my favorites. I watched The Wandering Earth 2, which is a release from this year. It's a Chinese movie.
God loves those films,
dude.
The big Chinese blockbusters. He tells you, there's a new one coming out this year, and he's like, "Oh, we have to go and see it." I've not seen any of them.
You should watch The Wandering Earth 1 and 2. They're both just conceptually grand. The scope is insane. The Wandering Earth 2 is like in scale probably the biggest blockbuster this year. It's
huge, aren't they?
It's huge, and it only has 3,500 logs on Letterboxd, which is crazy because I thought the movie was fantastic.
I know James, Nalbus.
He's the one that recommended me The Wandering Earth 1, and then I had seen The Wandering Earth 1 like I don't know a month or two ago.
Yeah,
and then this was last Sunday. I was sitting and I was like, I don't know what to watch, and I was like, okay, let me do The Wandering Earth 2, and one of those movies where I was like, damn, I really wish I had seen this like just on the biggest screen possible. It was nuts.
They're really interesting films because they always have low ratings, but the issue with that is most of the low ratings are from Americans giving it low stars for propaganda.
Yeah, all of the comments, dude, on my TikTok where I'm not watching this Chinese propaganda movie. I'm like, dude, it's about moving
what
the
do you
earth.
Think? They'll watch like Saving Private Ryan or Forrest Gump and be like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
We think they are. Do you know what I mean? It's the same shit. Every nation does it, man.
I know, like it's absurd. Cinema Paradiso, finally watched it. Jesus Christ, that one took a while, but I loved it. I truly, truly, truly loved and adored this movie. Same day this one day I watched Cinema Paradiso, Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, and The Fabelmans. So it was a big coming of age day. Fabelmans,
first Fabelmans watch?
First Fabelmans watch, yeah.
What do you think?
I liked it a lot, 4.5 for me. I thought it was really, really just sweet and adorable, but it was also kind of like a little bit of a darker coming of age story.
This is a pro Fabelmans podcast. We like Fabelmans.
Yeah, unless your name is Seth.
I like it. It's a 3-star. It's positive.
Yeah, that's awful.
That's terrible.
Positive.
Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret? I really liked.
Yeah,
that one was really good. That one sits fairly highly on my 2023 ranking. I think I have it at like in the top 15 right now. So I really enjoyed that one. I watched Shin Godzilla.
Oh shit, that looks so good.
Another one that Nalbus or James he didn't recommend to me, but I saw he was on a big Godzilla kick.
Every single
one,
even the ones I didn't even know existed.
Yeah,
there was like 40 of them or something.
There's a ton, but Shin Godzilla. This was like the first movie of the Godzilla series prior to like Godzilla and Kong that we know here.
The American,
so I'm going to make my way through that series. But no, I really like Shin Godzilla. Way more of a political satire than like a Godzilla movie. So I think that's going to be a big hit or miss for a lot of people.
Fucking amazing. The one that comes out in like December.
I have no idea, but I need to watch
the trailer came out
-1.
Yeah, -1.
That looks so good.
And then also like we're getting like that. George, you got screeners for the first 2 episodes?
Yeah,
of that TV show.
Of that Monarchs show. Yeah, a lot of Godzilla content. Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
I like a good Godzilla content.
Yeah, first 2 episodes of that show were good. The Town, which obviously we posted a review a couple days ago, so if you haven't seen that review, go watch it. Again, more.
What'd you give The Town? Sorry, I didn't.
3.5.
Ah, boo.
Yes, that's
Real Life's a good score, bro. What are we talking about?
Stop it.
big buzzkill dude out here.
Boo.
Real Life's a
The
good
town
score.
is so good, but
Town
every
is
comment,
so good.
every comment I got on my like Letterboxd review was "This is not a 4.5. Fuck you" or something like that. I was like, all right, man.
I didn't comment that. I don't think out on me.
It's a 4.5. I watched Almost Famous, which I just fell in love with like immediately. One of my favorite coming of age movies ever. The Midvals, which we'll talk about on this podcast. Rewatched Francis Ha, and Seth finally watched The Last Duel last night.
Oh shit! What did you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. Very just not what I expected with like its 3-act structure and the different perspectives. But no, I really liked it a lot. Give it a 4 out of 5 stars.
What did you think of Ben Affleck? Like, a shit's so
Dude, it's so funny because like all the promotional content, all of like the posters, he looks like this like badass figure, but he's just like a clown.
Yeah, he's really odd. I didn't expect it at all.
He's just like a fucking jokester the entire movie, and I'm like, every single promotional content was like a straight face picture of Ben Affleck, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna be a hard ass this
crazy
movie,
villain or something.
which he was a crazy villain, but like
way.
in a weird, but he was also just like really quirky and just not what I expected. I really liked Matt Damon though in this role.
I did. I like Matt Damon a lot.
Yeah, and then Jodie Comer was the absolute standout. She was just a revelation in this movie. I don't know if she got nominated at the Oscars, but if she didn't, that's stupid.
I think it really did crazy badly. I think at the box office,
it did terribly in the box office.
Yeah,
$30.
Yeah, it literally made like $10.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about what I watched. Not much. Been kind of at a steady 1 or 2 movies a day pace. But yeah, let's get into, we got a couple of reviews, like we said. We're going to talk about the Marvels. We're going to talk about The Killer. And then Cam and I will touch on the Loki finale, as well as Invincible episodes 1 and 2. Or just episode 2, honestly. Cam, I don't know if you touched on episode 1 last week, but if you did.
I didn't talk it. I think we kind of went through it. But
yeah,
we just kind of brushed over it. But
all right, we'll catch up a little bit. We'll start with the Marvels because I think that'll be our shortest of the two.
George.
Yeah.
I threw a note on the. I know we have it in news, but I feel like we should probably start with the actors' strike just real quick. I threw that in.
Yeah. We could start with the actors' strike. I was going to say that till later when we do news, but yeah, SAG-AFTRA strike is over. I just have a couple of notes, and then you guys could add anything you want. So. One, congratulations to the writers, the actors. Thank you to everyone that was out on the picket lines doing their thing. 118 days, I believe. Someone fact checked me on that. Around 118-day strike, which is the longest writers, actors strike in Hollywood history. Their new deal is valued at $1 billion, which includes all of the following: a streaming participation bonus, above pattern minimum compensation increases, substantial increases for pension and health caps, pay increases for background actors, contract provisions protecting diverse communities, major provisions for consent and compensation for AI. And now that the strike is over, obviously we're seeing a lot of more promotional content going around. A lot of movies such as Beyond the Spider-Verse will get back to their regular scheduled filming, I guess. So again, congrats to all that. Anything you guys want to add?
You covered it.
No, glad it's
Shout
over.
out the writer,
Yeah,
actor.
it sounds like the big thing was because obviously in like a negotiation you're not going to get everything. Sounds like AI was what they held super firm on. So as a result, they didn't get much from the streaming residual side of things. They're just getting like a lump sum bonus every year that I guess they're going to like SAG-AFTRA will have to split amongst the actors on streaming services, but they don't get residuals or anything like super crazy from like streaming services. It's kind of just more like a little bump in what they used to get, but it sounds like AI was the number one thing they were focused against. The thing I'm worried about though is I don't know, like I know in the past, like we get a strike and then it kind of works out for a while, but these deals last 3 years, and I just have a strong feeling in 3 years from now they're not going to agree on things, and like the studio is going to push for more AI stuff, or the actors are going to push for more residuals type stuff, and I just feel like I don't know. I'd be stunned if in 3 years from now we're going to have. I feel like it's going to be another strike. Like I'd be shocked if there's not, but hopefully there's not. Hopefully we're good for a while. But shout out to everyone getting the deal done, and now we can see movies being made again. And Warner Brothers will hopefully stop being so stupid with everything, but that probably won't change.
It's not too late to release Dune 2.
It's not too late.
Can still get it out by the end
I
of the year.
feel like if they put it out like next week, just said, "Hey, we're releasing this," it would make $1 billion. I think it's still just.
I think it'll.
I
Still
don't think
do
make $1
numbers.
billion.
Would make $1 billion.
billion-
But
it
I think
wouldn't
it would
make
make
$1
about
billion.
as much as it would have otherwise if it
Yeah.
would have had like a full.
Rarely anything's making $1 billion these days.
But I'm stupid. I don't know. Like I don't know how much press tours actually impact things, but I personally feel like they just don't change things.
Yeah,
that
I don't
much.
think so either. Like, who watches a press tour? Like, I don't.
I've said this. I don't get it.
I don't
So-
Like
really
it makes people like us on film Twitter hype, but like the average
No.
person is
Is
like,
it though?
It doesn't make me hype.
Yeah, I
I've
guess
never
true.
watched
I,
the
Yeah.
video,
I don't.
but
I
like,
don't get hype, but like I see they're there, and sometimes I'm like, oh,
all I need is a trailer. I don't need like an interview and shit. I don't really.
I think press tours help like non-blockbusters. So I think like maybe Killers of the Flower Moon, like more people might have saw it if they saw like
Yeah,
Leo,
maybe.
like talking about it. But stuff like Dune,
Yeah,
like
that's-
people are either seeing it or they're not. Even with the first one, I'm not even saying because it's a sequel. Like Dune 1, like people are gonna see a trailer once, like and during like a football game or something, and they'll either be like, yeah, I want to see that or not. They're not gonna like see Timothy Chalamet talk about like Paul Atreides and be like,
Yeah.
now I want to see it.
yeah, I agree. I don't know what like I them promoting it on social media does it a lot more, I would assume, than like a press tour.
Right. Like who watches Jimmy Fallon and stuff anymore? Like, because I feel like that's what press tours are basically. It's just late night shows.
Do
like,
people even watch that? I don't.
The
I don't think
only-
anyone
watch
under
the
40.
late night.
Only
I've
time I
never
watch
watched
late night shows is if a clip comes up on my recommended on
the
YouTube.
fucking annoying thing, and sorry, now we're on a tangent. The fucking annoying thing about Jimmy Fallon and everyone is they're so staged. It's so staged, and it's like they spin that wheel. That he has that wheel of like you're gonna sing this song, but as if you were like Marshmello or as if you were like Ariana Grande or whatever. And it's always fucking staged. The wheel is they did not pull this shit off right on random. Like they know what song's coming. They know what. Fuck you.
well,
Jimmy
and like
Fallon.
every interview question ever is like something that's been pre-screened and like they don't just hit him with a curveball live on air.
Yeah. no.
Cam's baby's
Jimmy's
gonna
always
grow
like,
up cursing left and right because his dad is just sitting there screaming "fuck" in his face.
Yeah. It's awful, man. Fuck
Um,
Jimmy Fallon.
But yeah, all right, let's get on to our reviews. We'll start with the Marvels. I'm sure it'll be a quick review, pretty much just bland thoughts.
No.
Cam, we'll start with you, Cam, and we'll
This shit saved the MCU.
stop.
Saved cinema.
We'll go into the spoilers because I know there's one bit that you very particularly want to talk about. But Cam, just start with your overall thoughts on the Marvels.
That just wasn't very good. I think like so I have
Just be mean. Just be mean for
No,
once.
I'm never mean. I have this and Quantumania at the same like 2.5 out of 5. This a little higher than Quantumania. I think this made me hate Quantumania more because I did like this a lot more than Quantumania, but I still think it stinks. And it is not the fault in any way of Brie Larson, Tiana Paris, or Iman Vellani. They are so awesome. in
Quite
this
the
movie.
opposite. I think.
Yeah, it's almost the opposite, and I think it's like the opposite of Quantumania, where Quantumania had a great villain and the rest of the movie sucked. This had a shit villain and a lot of the movie sucked, but great lead heroes. I didn't give a shit about Paul Rudd or Catherine Langford,
Which
or
is
Catherine Newford.
crazy, by the way.
Yeah, which is crazy, right?
Yeah.
And people are gonna say like, "Oh, Marvel's woke." This movie is probably like the least woke Marvel movie I feel like we've gotten in a long while. It just happens to have 3 lead women. 4. if
Yeah,
you
I
count
can't
the
think
girl.
like what
there's
anyone would
nothing
call like
woke, in
woke
this.
about this
Yeah,
other than
exactly.
like there's girls in it. Like
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
like,
That's
what's
the
woke
only
here?
thing that's woke
Yeah.
about this movie is that there are girls in it. Because like I saw so much that like Marvel's gone woke. It's the like this and this. Like this
that
movie is,
letterbox review of letterbox
yeah,
comments
you
on
got
that review.
attacked. Oh my god. Also, okay, I'm gonna start now actually on the review. The leads were great. The villains sucked. The writing sucked. CGI is bland throughout, and it just doesn't look that great. It looks okay in parts, and then stinks in parts, which just sucks. We should not be at the point where like we're like this looks okay at parts. Like, what are we doing? And then also, you know what my favorite genre of sequels is? A sequel that has like 10 minutes of flashbacks just to show what happened in the first first movie and the TV show that set this up and everything else. I was sitting there and I'm like, you fucking idiots. Like, what are we doing right now? There's like 10 minutes of WandaVision flashbacks to when Tiana Paris's character, Monica Rambeau's mom died. And then also like Captain Marvel flashbacks, like that Brie Larson's having. And like they kind of work it into the story, and that's fine, but just like give some respect to your viewers. And I know you have to make it so that like the average viewer can go see it. Marvel, the average viewer is not going to see your movies anymore. You're either in the, I know you are, Seth, but like you do it for this pod. You're not an average viewer.
True.
Like they're just not watching. You gotta just give your audience some ounce of respect that they know what's going on in this movie. And I don't even think they did it super like poorly, because you do have to watch 2 TV shows and a movie to be like fully caught up with this. They luckily didn't like, I don't think they did it horribly with Iman Vellani's Ms. Marvel character. I actually think they did it well, because it starts off and she's like doing her comic books and there's writing flying all over, which is like one of the best parts of Ms. Marvel. And then they just got away from that like after 4 episodes or whatever it was. Just do that and then move on. Like you show what this character is, move on now. I don't know. It's just like there was so much exposition in this damn thing, because they have to explain everything now so that the average person understands. But it saved cinema. Scorsese was wrong. The MCU is back. Go Marvel. Yeah, I got plenty more to say, but y'all can go now.
I love hearing Cam get all riled up about
52
Marvel.
52 out of 100. 52 out of 100.
All of that ran for a 52. That's still pretty high.
He can't go lower than that. He can't.
I mean, like I'm an idiot where I'm like, I had to find time with it. But I don't want 52 out of 100s anymore. And I don't think it's not as bad as Quantumania. It's not as bad as Thor: The Dark World, in my opinion. It's not as bad.
No.
I am anti Iron Man 3. I think I'm the only one in the world.
You're lost.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Cam.
I adore Tony Stark and Robert Downey with my whole heart, but I don't think Iron Man 3 is very good. It's not as bad as that, in my opinion. Not as bad as, it might be as bad as The Incredible Hulk. I forget where I have that. But like those movies I still think stink. So maybe I just need to lower those. But yeah, that's where I'm.
Oh God, Seth, let's hear the non-MCU man's review of the Marvels.
I thought I'd hate it. I didn't hate it. Like I think Quantumania was far worse.
Much worse.
But I think the issue with this film is that I'm dead serious when I say this could have been a half a star if it wasn't for the relationships of the core 3 of the main 3, because they actually are likable. I don't know. I just don't understand the constant hate for Captain Marvel and Brie Larson. Like, I don't understand it. I think
this is a pro Brie Larson pod. I like Brie Larson.
I think she's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think what's her name? Iman Vellani? Is that her name? Vellani?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she, like, this is the thing. Like, I think it works because they're charismatic. They have this kind of 3 relationship, and I think when it actually goes into that, and when they're conversing, and when they're going into their backgrounds, it works. But I think the rest of this film is fucking dog shit. Like, it's so bad in terms of villain exchanges. Horrendous. By the way, that fucking Zoroaster, whatever the fucking name is, the main villain, she's one of the main characters in one of my favorite ever sitcoms. So that hurt that they did it like that. Terrible.
Also, here's a fun fact: she's married to
Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Married to Tom Hiddleston.
I think
one of the worst villains the MCU's had.
Yeah,
I think Whiplash is worse. I think he's like the bottom tier.
Oh, you never saw obviously you never saw Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Flag Smashers, without a doubt, the worst villains in the MCU. No. That was bad.
Well, Whiplash had like a really great actor, Mickey Rourke. So it's like, that's, you know what I mean, the difference. But yeah, I think it was really, honestly, quite ugly most of the time, visually speaking, which isn't, out of the norm for the MCU now. It's crazy how like the MCU films looked better like 10 years ago than they do now.
Dude, Guardians of the Galaxy looked great.
First one, yeah.
Like,
I think that even
number 3. Like,
I'll say one thing. I don't think that Thor 1 looked that bad in comparison to Ant-Man Quantumania, comparison to the Marvels.
It doesn't.
And that was like what, 2000?
It's just
11.
bland.
It was 2011. Okay, so that was 12 years ago. And now it's different. And I think that the payoffs are really empty when it comes to the emotion, and I just don't care about what's going on. I think Cam said it overused exposition to the point where it's literally not trusting your own imagery and be like, okay, here's what happens. And I think, especially like a Marvel's film, people aren't gonna like, just don't. Like, if you're going to see this, you probably already know what's going on. You know, this isn't like a one-off thing where you've not watched the rest of the stuff, unless you're like me, obviously. But I think that they need to start trusting their audience more. This, I think I saw this on someone's review, and you can really tell this got like chewed to pieces post-production. Like, it looks, some of the sequences look really, really bad, and it seemed
the ending is just so
horrendous,
horrible, and it seemed like really, really rushed throughout most of it, especially the earlier section and the ending, of course. And I think it's really lucky that they had the three leads, because I had an okay time with them, but those moments are few and far between. I think without that, this could have been at the level of, you know, Quantumania or Thor: The Dark World, because I think it was really, really, really poorly done. And I think that's out of the control of the main three, because I think they do exactly what they have to do. I think they provide a different amount of personality and charm, but it's just that can only take you so far in a film that is fucking awful. But yeah, I give it a 2-star because I quite like them. Everything else was just, awful. And I think that the MCU, I just think it's such a bad, like, after all the stuff, and it's like Loki, it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. Maybe I'll watch Loki. People don't tell me to watch it.
It really is just like such an annoying roller coaster right now.
Have you seen Soups? He's like buying the fuck into it now, and he's just every like.
Dude, I mean, those memes of like it's over, we're back.
He's actually just buying into like what he used to do. I think it's quite funny.
But they're not even memes because they're like so true. It's like it's over, we're back, it's over.
Ant-Man to even in the films, Ant-Man terrible. Guardians 3, great, one of the best in a while, if not, one maybe the best for me. And then to this fucking shit. And it's like the MCU is just so back and forth all the time. The consistency is so lackluster. And it's not even like, for me, it's not even like there's many right now average projects anymore or films, because I've only seen the films. It's like either good or bad.
Or shit.
I mean? Yeah, and there's no middle ground with it. I think that's the worst thing about it. But so I'll give it a 2-star. I don't really have to speak about anything else. I think my views are there, but I think the main three are pretty good. It's a shame that it's such a shit film, because I think they would have, if they'd put the time and effort into this and it wasn't hacked to bits in post production, the main three could produce something good for the MCU. But it's the same. Everything else was just terrible, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, Tyler, thoughts?
Yeah, I gave it a 2.5 when I first watched it. Then like 2 days later, dropped it to a 2 just because, just kind of sitting with it for a while. You guys have already mentioned the main three. I thought they were easily the stand of this movie. They were all great. Huge for like guys who were obsessed with like the Brie Larson white tank top meme, like picture, because she's just in that.
You can make that your letterbox picture. That's what I made my letterbox.
Oh, really?
Did you really?
No, you didn't.
Hell yeah.
Did you really?
But yeah, the main three were great. I thought the villain like actually has like good motivation and good backstory. They just didn't give us it. Like I thought like
she was
we
out
get like a snippet
hour.
of it. Like, but I was like, yeah, exactly. They give us like 5 minutes of backstory, and then she disappears. Then like Dar-Ben comes back at the very end for obviously the final like boss battle. But like the nugget they gave us, I'm like, this is actually like similar to like Gore the God Butcher, Thor: Love and Thunder. Like this is like a really interesting backstory. Like give us more than 5 minutes of it, and then just like go away from it when that's like could be a very interesting part of your movie. I think the writing was the weakest part here. It's like weird because like directors, like how much say do they have in movies? I always see people like defending like what their favorite director does a Marvel movie, and then like they're like, oh, we don't blame this on them as hacked to bits. But like when Sam Raimi does a Marvel movie, like he still has his style, but like everyone else, I guess people are like their style is stripped away. So I think it's just a skill. I think it's a skill that a lot of people aren't capable of. Like it's a high skill to be able to keep your style while working within the Marvel universe. And there's a lot of people like saying like, oh, like Nia DaCosta is like feeling bad for her, but it's like I was kind of surprised because her only movie that anyone I follow is logged is the Candyman remake. So she's not like she's not.
I
doesn't-
like that movie.
No, me too. But like, she doesn't have like a deep back. Like people are talking about her like she's like an acclaimed, long-running director. Like, oh, like I feel so bad for her. Like she got her movie ruined. I'm like, she's never done an original movie that anyone's watched. So, like, why do people like?
The, like tweets
See,
saying like that she? Go on, Cal.
No, sorry, I didn't want to cut my bad.
I was just gonna say, weren't most of the tweets saying, "Oh, what was it now?" Saying that like, why are they hiring, a director who's barely done anything? But they've done that so many times.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
saw
such a
that. Like,
ridiculous tweet. There's a reason for that tweet. Let's be honest. They've done that with so many directors, so it's ridiculous.
Joss Whedon before the Avengers, like, had the exact same career path. Had done 2 movies, and one was a remake, one was an original, and like, no, it's just Twitter getting mad. It's just Twitter getting mad.
But I did like Candyman movie, and I did actually think that had a decent amount of style, whereas this really didn't. But it's just crazy because like I'll actually say that for the spoilers part. So my overall thoughts is like the reason I didn't go lower is because there's just nothing in this movie that like upset me in terms of like Thor: Love and Thunder, Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, Thor: The Dark World. Like those all have movies where I'm like, there's something that just like really annoys me, like how like bad it is, or something like really sticks out that pisses me off. Whereas like this is like an hour 40. There's a lot of things I thought were messy, and I thought like the way the movie was put together was really bad. The writing is really bad, but like I watched it and I was never like super offended or upset by like how bad it was. I was just kind of meh. It was never great by any means because I think the villain, like truly, they just like forgot about her, and the writing was a mess. Which there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about in the spoiler section, but it just never got to the point where I was like, oh my god, this is like truly so bad. Where I was like, this needs to be like a 1.5 star or something. So 2 stars, just like very okay, very average. The reaction people are having is exactly what everyone would expect. Like all like the fans being like, or fans, I guess you can put in quotation marks because are they true fans? Or they're just like being like, just people who just like need to just please touch grass. But
negative.
I have a lot more I want to
I've seen
talk
more
about, but I'll save
positive
for spoilers.
on my like Twitter. I've seen more Marvel fans actually be positive about this film, honestly, and bring up the whole Rotten Tomatoes.
All my TikTok and Letterboxd reviews, well, I guess that one Letterboxd review, but all my TikTok comments were like, "This movie's gonna suck. I hate Brie Larson.
I didn't review it on
characters suck."
I didn't review it for that reason. I just can't go with this.
Why do people hate Brie Larson?
Because she's a woman who has personality, and Marvel fans
Okay,
don't like that.
I didn't know if she did something or like something like.
I don't think. I mean,
yeah,
no,
I'm trying to think too. I can't remember.
Nah, it's because after Infinity War, Captain Marvel was like the next big project, and she's Captain Marvel is like she's right there with like Captain America in the comics as being like one of the most important Marvel characters. So when Infinity War happened and everyone got dusted away, spoiler alert, at the end.
No way, dude.
Everyone like was really banking on Captain Marvel, the movie, as being like this next massive big step in Marvel to like counter Thanos. And then that movie came out and everything about it was just dry and bland.
Hating Brie Larson for that is crazy.
No, but okay, at times so was Brie Larson. Like I'm not saying this because I like Brie Larson, I like her in this role, but
as in the film,
it's the truth. In the film, there are moments where she just delivers like very bland line delivery, and it just comes off very like uninspired and very I'm just here for a check at times. So I think that's just what a lot of people just didn't like, that she didn't probably fully commit to the role as much as they had expected her to.
I think she's also like supposed to be like real confident, and people don't like when the women characters are the arrogant ones, and it's just like
she is meant to be.
But I don't argue like she wasn't perfect in the Captain Marvel, and I don't hate it as much as most.
But
I think that's a big reason. Like when the Endgame trailer when Thanos or Thor like pulls what's the axe name? Stormbreaker. Thank you. Pulls that, and then she's like standing there. I think people were like mad about that or something. Like I don't know.
And then totally flip side, there's people that like don't like her because she like used to be in like real movies, and now she's only in like Fast and Furious and Marvel movies. So like that's totally other.
She did make a weird.
Yeah,
she did make kind of a weird. Like, good for her. Get that.
She's like, I'm just gonna get my bag.
Yeah, she won her Oscar, and she's like, yo, I'm cashing in now.
Yeah.
Like,
that's actually crazy, the run she's had recently. It's all shit.
While we're on her still, what's her best role?
I haven't seen Room, and everyone speaks about Room because I think
I haven't seen it.
Probably Room.
I haven't seen Room either. But what's her best role?
My favorite,
in my opinion. Do you guys have a guess?
21 Jump Street, you're gonna say.
She's great in 21 Jump. I fucking love her in 21 Jump Street.
I knew you were gonna fucking say that.
Yeah, of course, man. Dude, she's awesome in 21 Jump Street.
I haven't seen her in much at all, to be honest. I'm looking at it now.
Hoot. Shout out Hoot. Love that movie as a
No,
kid.
short term 12 might be her best performance.
She was in Scott Pilgrim, but I don't think she was one of the main.
Love Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim's
but no,
great,
she's
right?
not one of the mains.
Yeah, I'll say that because I like the film. But fuck knows.
All right, George. Topic, kind of.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. I'm pretty much in line with all three of you. This kind of what can make the podcast boring every so often. We have like the exact same opinion on a movie, but yeah, I'm like right there with Tyler, where it's a 2.5 for me. Probably will go down to a 2 the more I think about it. But like Tyler said, there was nothing like offensively bad about this movie the way Quantumania was. Like while I was watching Quantumania, I was genuinely like upset that I was there watching it, but I never had that feeling watching the Marvels. Like, you know, everyone in the world has basically been saying it. The strong points of this movie are when Carol Danvers, Kamala Khan, and Monica Rambeau are on screen together and they're just having fun. They're learning their powers. They're learning how to control their powers. That was genuinely like, I think, a good time. Like, it was just fun watching them. Just all three of the actresses genuinely just seemed like they were having a good time with each other. Their chemistry was there. I think Iman Vellani is just the most adorable human being in the world. And like Kamala Khan's like reaction to meeting Carol Danvers is how I would genuinely imagine Iman Vellani's reaction was when she met Brie Larson in real life. Like just stunned, in awe, and I just think she plays that character so well. I said in one of my TikTok videos, I think they should make her the face of the MCU. Got a lot of hate for that comment, but I'm standing by it.
I said she's the best
Yeah.
cast person since I may have said
Yeah.
it above Tony Stark. That was probably silly. Since
Yeah.
I'll say Tony Stark.
I mean, she'd be up there for me a little bit maybe, but not close to like
You
the
guys
top
are
3.
crazy, by the way.
Dude, she's awesome.
She's awesome. I think she's fucking amazing.
She's not the best. Like, come on, man. Batista's Drax. He's the... Although I will agree, I do think she was. I think she works really, really well.
Yeah, that's the thing about Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau. I think they're intriguing characters, and I like seeing them on screen together. Just the writing around them has just been so bland and just so nonsensical. And I think this movie, and I mentioned this in my TikTok review, this movie, just like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, it focuses too much on setting up the future of the MCU as opposed to like giving us just its own standalone movie. Like Guardians of the Galaxy had no greater tie to the MCU. There was no mention of Kang. There was no mention of like any other MCU character or villain. And that was just its strong suit. Like it plays so well as just its own standalone movie. And this movie, The Marvels, just felt like, you know, everyone said it before. It just felt like an episode of a larger TV show. And that just, it sucks. It sucks because these characters are awesome. But the writing around them just sucks. So yeah, 2.5 out of 5 for me. It'll probably go down to a 2, just the more I think on it, or the more I look at like my 2023 rankings and really decide where I want to like toss in those rankings. We'll get into spoilers. Obviously, there's the 2. Do we want to start with the post-credit scenes? Or
I didn't know who that was. I recognized, well, I won't say it, but I recognized the person. But then I was like,
yeah.
So I haven't seen that film that person was in such a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start with no, let's not start with the post-credit scenes. Tyler, you said there's things that you want to touch on prior to the post-credit scenes. I'm sure we all want to talk about, you know, the final just big bad, which is another part of this movie that fucking sucked. Like, this movie thought they can get away with just one backstory, one quick scene backstory of our villain. Then we don't see her for like an hour and 10 minutes. And then we get back around to her and it's just like this like final big boss battle that just sucks.
Man, it's lucky for the front 3 because this film was shit. Right now,
like
the ending.
This movie really could have been like a quick like half star, 1 star if it wasn't for those moments with our 3 leads just kind of having fun. Is there anything you guys want to particularly talk about before we get into the final 2 post-credit scenes?
No, you covered what I want.
I think Captain Marvel actually had character arc in this, and that was good.
Yeah, she didn't have it in Captain Marvel. Like that's my biggest issue with the Captain Marvel movie. It's crazy that the visual effects, like for the Flurkin scene, probably took the visual effects team like weeks. And it's just like that's just such a minor throwaway scene that probably devoted 80% of the entire visual effects time and budget to just do that entire like Flurkin scene. I feel like it took forever.
It's one of those. That's one of those things. I didn't have an issue with it. What'd you guys? What
no, I like the scene. I like the scene. I just feel like I can imagine the visual effects team that took like 80% of their time for the entire movie was just that one scene because it's so much visual effects in that.
One thing I'd love to hear your thoughts on. I don't think the MCU has any idea what they want to do with Nick Fury.
He's just kind of there, isn't he?
He's always just
definitely
there.
very
Is this
there.
after was this after Secret Invasion? Because
that's what I saw online.
Yeah,
I think so.
I didn't see Secret Invasion, but this is after.
They had that like. Okay, so the Skrulls have that like place they're living, right?
Yeah.
And then Darben comes and destroys it, and then Valkyrie comes and gets them a new house, right?
Yeah.
New, not house, but planet to live on. What the fuck was Secret Invasion for then? How fucking easy was that? Like it's 10. Why the fuck would you move them again? That's so simple.
I haven't seen Secret Invasion, so I have no clue what you're talking about, but it's funny.
Secret Invasion is so bad. Secret Invasion is so shit.
I'm gonna just be honest. I didn't watch the finale of Secret Invasion. Never got around to it, and I'm not going to at this point. I've seen enough.
This is how you know the MCU is falling off.
What that show was all about how Nick Fury couldn't find a planet for the Skrulls for the longest fucking time, and so now they're going to invade Earth. It took Valkyrie 3.5 minutes. Nick, you've been talking to this woman for years. What the fuck?
I thought it was really funny when Valkyrie showed up, Tessa Thompson, like as a cameo in this, and like they gave her the classic like 4 seconds of pause for like applause. I'm like. Yeah. She's just not that girl. I'm sorry. She's not.
She is that girl in my eyes. She's definitely.
She's not going to get applause.
Yeah, her character is not that girl. Yeah, she is that girl, but her character.
Yeah, she is that girl. Yeah. No one in the audience is going to care when she shows up.
They did give that like, and it was in the fucking trailer. You dumb fucking company.
Was it? Fuck me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I didn't watch the final trailer.
They released the trailer on one day, like right before it, and she was in it, which you.
Why would they do that?
What was your opinion on the singing planet? Any thoughts on the singing planet? Okay, I didn't have an issue with that's something that like people will poop their pants over and be like, "This sucks." MCU's gone soft.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there for long enough in the movie to bother
I didn't have an issue.
I didn't even like. I wasn't bothered, but I think that kind of fit the tone of what they were going for, especially with the Imani thingy, the kid, Miss Marvel. I think that kind of fits the tone. I didn't really care about that. I hate NCU's humor at the best of times, but I think that was one of the less.
Yeah,
I think it was fine. I think it kind of fit. I don't.
It's also one of those things where if this movie was amazing, it may have been like, damn, that sucks, but it wasn't bad enough within the rest of the movie to be an issue. And
I didn't like him at all, though. The guy in the singing planet. What's his name? I can't remember. His fucking. You know what I mean?
Nope.
I hated him.
Yeah, didn't care. That was one thing that I was watching, and I'm like, yeah, people are gonna hate this, but I actually haven't seen that uproar about it a whole lot.
I think it fits the tone. It's not like a Thor of the Thunder where it struggled to find a balance. That's kind of the balance throughout the whole film. Do you know what I mean? So I think it kind of works, I guess.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you guys think it's better or worse than the first film?
Worse.
Better than Captain Marvel.
Better than Captain Marvel.
I actually think it's worse. Personally.
I think it's much worse.
I mean, you're comparing dog shit to horse shit.
I actually think I have Captain Marvel at 2.5. I don't think it's like terrible, but I don't like it by any means.
I think Captain Marvel's sitting like in the middle of my MCU rankings. I kind of enjoy Captain.
I have Captain Marvel second to last, and then I have the Marvels like
the Dark World and Quantum shittier. No,
those are the only two that I have under Captain Marvel's Dark World and Quantum.
I think they're like the clear, like so far bottom two for me, and then it's.
I just have Thor bias, but I mean the Dark World is like right. I'm pretty sure the Dark World is like my third to last rank. They're both ranked at 2 out of 5.
Captain Marvel is my 32nd in the MCU, so I guess I won't defend it too much, but I still have it at.
Isn't there like
35. I cannot believe there are 35 of these movies.
Did you think it was in the middle, Cam, and then it was near the bottom? Then?
Well, yeah, I did, but I also have that includes all of the shows.
What's the rating? Is it a positive rating?
3.5. I love
3.5 for what?
32 Marvel films, MCU films are 3.5 or up.
Yeah, but I think now that I'm like looking at it, I think I would drop Winter Soldier. That's above it at a 3.5. I think I'd drop Miss Marvel at a
Wow.
3.5.
Sorry,
Wait. Pause.
Sorry. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay.
So,
Winter Soldier
That
is one
would
of the
be
best.
idiotic.
I almost
the
lost
show,
my
yeah.
mind.
I was like, what
Show.
the fuck are you
My
talking? I
bad.
think you're one of the best.
My
Seth
bad.
was on Cam's team for like
My
Pro
bad.
Cat tomorrow. And Seth was about to jump
My
so hard
bad.
off that team.
The show. I think I would drop the show.
Yes.
Like,
Do you
as
rank
I,
the
like,
shows with the films though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't.
It's too hard to compare them. You can't.
Yeah,
compare them.
literally,
agree.
I just took the shows out of my ranking and made its own ranking because it was just too hard. I kept Werewolf by Night with the movies, but the shows, it was too hard to rank with the movies.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm with you there, and that's why, like, as I look at the shows, I'm like, yeah, I probably didn't like that as much. So I do not look back on the shows very fondly, to be quite honest with you. And
What if goated? What if goated?
What if is my 41st?
Stop.
Only one-
42.
Stop.
Oh, did they add that one to Letterboxd? I thought that
No,
was
No. It's not.
Random, it's a random like movie.
It's a
Gotcha.
Daniel Radcliffe movie.
Really?
Gotcha.
Okay. But we should talk like at least a little. Haley
Yeah.
Steinfeld.
Pop up that spoilers thing.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause
They're gonna be quickly. Like, this transitions us to the end two things that the movie sets up. Is like one thing that I hated with the writing was the final way like they led us to the ending of the movie with Monica Rambeau with like the villain, because I feel like the most, and I like messaged like Sydney after the movie because I was like, at that point no one else had seen it and reviewed it, so I was like, I need to talk to someone about this, and like preferably someone that's like a female, because like I need to like get like, you know, a female perspective to see if I'm like crazy with this. But the thing I hate about the end with like when they don't kill Darben because they let her go is like, I feel like the most annoying, like, which is just like downright false and wrong criticism of like women is like, oh, women can't be like leaders because they won't make like the tough decisions and they show too much empathy. What happened in this movie? They solved the problem perfectly, and then they just decide like show empathy, and then it ruins everything. So it's like, I just feel like it just like played into like a stereotype, which annoyed me because like the three writers of this movie were all women, and I was like, kind of like weird that they're like playing into a stereotype that I think is like kind of wrong about women in power, but they just kind of showed that like by showing like a moment of like, oh, let's be empathetic and save her son, she just quickly gets up and is like psychs, rips open the universe and just like ruins everything, ruins the space-time continuum, that to sacrifice Monica Rambeau when otherwise they wouldn't have had to. So I feel like the ending, because clearly like they needed to rip the space-time open to do what they wanted to do, which we're about to talk about. But the way they did it was so stupid, like just so bad. The writing was so awful in this, which the writing was also Nia DaCosta. So I don't know. She wrote and directed it, so I don't know what she's doing.
At that
here.
point, I didn't even care for it, to be honest.
Yeah,
But that's like the annoying. Yeah, go Cam, go.
I just have that issue with like movies now in general, where like in Star Wars or some shit, they murder like 400 stormtroopers, and then they're like, well, I can't kill him.
Because the main villain.
Yeah, and I just hate that because like you murdered millions of stormtroopers these past like 2 movies, and now you won't kill the main. And I probably used a bad example with like Empire Strikes Back / the Return of the Jedi. Like I think that works. Like that trilogy works perfectly for it. But then in the sequels, when they're like, actually they kill Palpatine, so maybe get off Star Wars. Marvel, they killed like 10 people in this movie, I feel like, at random points. Like, you can't just tell me Captain Marvel punching someone is not going to kill them. She's murdering all these people. She's a Thanos level threat. And now, like...
Is she?
Yeah.
Is she like that?
She solos Thanos in, like, Endgame, like, perfectly fine. Pretty well. That's another issue, is, like, she like, fights Thanos really well, and then, like, in this, like, has issues with Darben, who, if you want to put them on like a power scale, is like around who the fuck's the first Guardians of the Galaxy villain? That guy, Ronan the Accuser.
Ronan.
Yeah, like she'd be stronger than these people. At least give her a villain that's like relatively similar to her power scale, I feel like. And I don't know. I feel like they do that with movies a lot in general. Maybe it was a bad example in this one, but they like refuse to kill the end villain, but they've killed like 20 people for the rest of the movie.
That's like every
it's like every movie. And fresh.
Yeah, George was talking about Haley Steinfeld and like how they like clearly what they're going for. Like I'm not super Marvel, but they're going for like the Young Avengers. Like that's the start of the Young Avengers, basically.
Was she?
It's like super unironically. That was like my favorite scene of the movie when Iman Vellani when Kamala Khan was like reciting like Nick Fury's
That's fun.
monologue. Yeah, and
She's
but she was
fucking
making it like a kid, like an idiot, and I was like, oh, this is fucking great. And Kate Bishop's sitting there like, the
I'm
fuck
23.
are you?
Yeah,
Was
she's
this
I'm
like
23.
Yeah.
the first or the? I'll be honest, I didn't stay for the post credit. Was this
No,
the
this wasn't
first?
even a
Or
post credit. This was like during the movie.
I don't
Pre-credit.
remember this.
This was pre-credit, right? I'm not crazy.
The fun, yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the final scene, but you would have
Yeah.
had to walk out before, like no credits had rolled. You would have. seen it.
Oh, what was the credit? What was the credit scenes? The credit scenes was the
X-Men.
the
There's only
X-Men
one
guy.
credit.
What's he called? The Beast. Is he the
The
Beast?
This
Yeah.
is the
the
first time I've ever wanted to yell "fuck you" at the screen during. a
No,
movie.
yeah, it's
Fuck you.
oh my god.
Why? I don't get it. I'm confused. Why?
It,
Why
it's just such a poor writing and poor way of introducing the X-Men into this fucking franchise. And I feel like that the scene itself, and again, we're talking about the X-Men scene, not the Kate Bishop scene,
Okay.
because that one I
Yeah,
liked. The X-Men scene just felt like they had no clue how they wanted to like introduce these characters into the MCU. So they just tacked it on last minute onto the end of the Marvels.
It was so corny how they did it too, because
Who is that?
first they have the Beast, which like anyone should know immediately, like that's an X-Men. Then they show like the big sign in the wall, it's a big X. They're like, guys,
Yeah.
it's X-Men. And
Kelsey
then he's like, Professor Charles says this, and it's like, oh, guys, it's X-Men.
Like we know.
like, we get it. We know
Like,
what
we're
you're going
there.
for here.
Does
Why-
anyone
why
care
was it
about
the
Kelsey
Beast?
Grammer Beast?
What?
Why
Does
was
anyone
it
give
the
a
Beast?
shit about-
Was it the original actor from the first films?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why-
It looked
why-
like just like a CGI guy to me. I don't know.
Well, it's Kelsey Grammer's.
Well, his, like, whatever.
Yeah.
He was CGI, yes, but it was Kelsey.
No, it was
Grammer.
his. Why was it the Beast they used? I don't get the importance. I haven't seen
Okay,
the
okay.
actual-
So I'm gonna walk you through it, Seth. if you didn't watch it.
Go for it.
Monica wakes up in a random universe and sees.
Oh, I've seen it. I just say, why was it the Beast? I've seen the
Nobody
scene.
knows because they couldn't get Charles Xavier. That's why.
I thought it was like
anyone.
okay,
And Kelsey
fair
Grammer needs.
No,
a
it's because they
man.
probably didn't want to have anyone cast yet for the
Yeah.
X-Men. So they're like, let's use the CGI guy. That solves the problem.
Well,
True.
I think what it is supposed to be the X-Men universe. So they intentionally used a previous actor with Kelsey Grammer, who's from the original X-Men. But who cares about that character? I don't understand.
Don't
I no. When it was Nicholas Holt in,
Yes.
that's when I
not
cared.
the same, though.
No, not the same. But that is when I cared about Beast. That is the only time I cared, especially in Days of Future Past when he's playing like
Yeah.
Charles is like,
Fucking fantastic.
yeah, loved it.
I'm not arguing. Nobody gives a shit about Kelsey Grammer.
No.
Beast.
No.
X2 is great. X-Men is great, but who fucking cares about this guy?
I feel like maybe it's because they wanted to bring, like you said, they're bringing in the old
They-
X-Men
I
universe. They
know
needed
I
the
understand.
character, the same actor, but they didn't want to have another John Krasinski, Reed Richards moment where they show an actor as a character and then like recast them and like have everyone be like, oh, you should have just had him stay as that or whatever.
Get
but
James
just such a
Marsden
lazy way to bring in the
fucking,
X-Men. But
Cyclops, for all I care, like the worst character.
Yeah, they from the original trilogy, they could have brought back anyone else, and I would have had a bigger reaction.
You're not wrong though, Tyler. They just wanted this. That's why I would have like. This is the first time I've ever wanted to yell "fuck you" at a screen during a Marvel movie. I just like in the dark theater, I would have been like "fuck off" or something with this because they just wanted to bring it in, and it had nothing to do with the plot other than the fact that now and also Monica's mom wasn't a part of the original X-Men. So
Yeah, where did she come from? Where the fuck
you,
did she come
Marvel.
from?
I don't know,
Okay.
man. I'm just
I don't
telling
know.
you.
But,
Way
like,
to save cinema. Fucking
yeah, they brought
Scorsese.
they set up so like next year when it's like Deadpool and Wolverine movie, like because that's the only MCU movie next year. So now they clearly led right into that. But
Well, so
Yeah.
like the plot leaks of that also like come off like the TVA from Loki, which that's all good, but I don't know, man. I love this universe and I can't wait to go back.
yeah, I have nothing else to say about.
What's the
Marvel.
Beast's name? What's his name? His like his
Actual name or actor name?
no character name.
Fucking Beast guy.
Beast guy. Great.
James Beast Boy
Beast boy.
It is not Beast Boy.
name. But give me a sec. Henry McCoy. Yeah,
Hank
Hank
McCoy.
that's
Hank
it.
McCoy. Okay. Why
Damn,
can't I find
dude.
this guy? What the fuck?
Days of Future Past is so good.
What
So
was he
good,
in?
man. It's so
Days of
fucking
Future
good.
Past is so fucking good. It's unbelievable.
But that's
I
a
didn't like that
different
film. Was that the yellow poster? I hated that one.
beast.
Was
No,
the yellow
Yellow.
poster one?
No.
Days of Future Past is X-Men.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it's got a yellow poster. What do you mean? It's like yellowy.
What do you mean yellowy?
You're a
Wait,
fucking idiot if you don't like that movie, Seth. I'm gonna fight you. I'll
Yeah,
fight you.
Days of Future Past is peak shit.
Yeah, Days of Future Past is great.
Oh my god, it's so damn good.
All right.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's wrap up. That'll conclude our angry review. Tyler and Seth, 2 out of 5 stars. Cam and George, 2.5 out of 5 stars.
2 out of 100. I won't stoop to you, Tyler.
We're leaving that behind, Cam. You need to
Yeah, we're a 5-star. We're a 5-star podcast. Now,
I'm a
Cam.
5-star guy now, but I respect people who still do other scales. I respect you, Cam.
You want to get at, bud? Sorry.
No, we are exclusively a 5-star podcast. Okay, let's continue with Marvel. Cam and I, let's just talk Loki season finale very quickly before we get into the killer. We don't have to harp on it a lot because I know both of us. Cam, did you post the TikTok review? I honestly didn't.
I didn't. Dude, I suck at TikTok.
Okay.
I haven't been on that damn app in days.
That's all right. The app sucks. But all right, let's talk about the Loki review. The Loki season finale. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I think it just perfectly cemented Loki as one of the 2 best written MCU characters. He kind of comes, and we'll get into spoilers just from the start. If you haven't seen Loki, just skip ahead like 10-15 minutes maybe, probably a little less. There'll be timestamps. But Cam, what did you think of that finale?
Fucking awesome, man. And I'm not gonna keep saying Jonathan Majors is a shit person because we get a comment every time. You know where I stand on him. Whatever. He's so fucking good as He Who Remains, and He Who Remains is without a doubt the best. Hey Bailey, can we not do that? Without a doubt the best variant of Kang in every way. So there's the spoiler. You get He Who Remains back in this episode. And he's so fucking good because he's like, I know exactly what's happening. So kind of to run through the episode, the timelines are all fucked and everything's blowing up to shit. And it's all because last season Sylvie killed He Who Remains, and he used that as like a failsafe. So no matter what, they're gonna be fucked and everything's gonna go to shit, right? And so Loki finds that out. And by the end, Loki's the one who's like maintaining all the timelines, and he sacrificed himself to be like there. So goddamn good, like just how it looks, and like the end of that episode, it's just amazing. Yeah, I loved it. I have it at 4.5. I saw you have it like 3.5. Man, that hurts.
No, it's at a 4 right now, but that's season 1. Like you can't.
Yeah,
really...
I know you can't log the second season.
I know, so I'm gonna I will log it, and I'll put like in my like review section like season 1 4 out of 5, season 2 probably still a 4 out of 5, maybe a 4.5. The more I think on that finale, but yeah, I think that finale was fantastic. The entire final sequence. First off, yeah, like you said, Jonathan Majors is just. He's like just the most terrifying He Who Remains I think they could have ever gotten, because he's just so calm. His demeanor is just so subtle, and he's just so terrifying, and like
he's like I'm trying to think,
because like he knows what's going on, and like that makes him so scary, and he's not like openly like a frightening, menacing looking
like a
person.
Goofy, like kind of crazy.
Yeah,
like incredible, like almost like a much better Jason Momoa in Fast X. Jason Momoa, the best part of Fast X, but like he has that tenacity of he's not terrifying, but he's goofy and just is all knowledgeable on it. That makes him terrifying. I don't know. Again, I'm with you on where I stand on Jonathan Majors. I know a lot of people get upset when we say that, but I would love to like hold on to him in the MCU, which I don't think is going to happen. I think they're either going to recast him or they're just going to completely pivot from Kang, which that I think would be stupid. I think there are plenty of incredible actors out there that could take up this role. Maybe not as well as Jonathan Majors, but yeah, the finale I thought was just incredible. The entire like final sequence of Loki, sacrificing himself. He has that conversation with Mobius back when he had originally been caught by the TVA. That was one of my favorite scenes in any MCU Disney Plus show, because for some reason it felt like Mobius knew what was going on, but he obviously did not in that moment. And I just think that made for like a very heartfelt conversation from Loki's perspective, and then that kind of made Loki decide that, obviously Mobius drops that one line where it's like some purposes are greater than glory or something like that.
And then that's when his character kind of comes full circle, and I am Loki, and I am burdened with glorious purpose, and he sacrificed himself to the timelines. Is this the end of Loki, like the character?
Until Secret Invasion, I would say, at the very least. I don't think we'll ever see.
What is there going to be a Secret Invasion round 2?
Secret Wars.
My bad. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Until Secret Wars, I bet he comes back for that. But he went on shit Fallon last night, and was like, "Sorry, I'm anti-Fallon.
I could tell.
He's my favorite of all the talk show hosts. If I had to pick one,
I don't think any of them are funny.
I think they all suck.
Oh, agreed. But he's the best of the shit.
That's fair. Yeah, he said it was like the conclusion to his character in the 14 years. He'll definitely be back, I would assume, if they ever go back to the timeline, or maybe they won't. Made a little tree. That was kind of fun. But I don't know if it's the full end, but I think it's the end for a good long while. Yeah. Like Loki was always kind of like, he was in the first Thor, obviously, first Marvel, all 3 Thors, and then wasn't in the 4th. I can't.
Yeah, he wasn't in Love and Thunder, but he was in the other 3.
Because he's dead, and then he's also in Infinity War and Endgame. He's always kind of been around, so I don't think we'll see him for a good 6-7 years now, especially with the writer's strike. A lot of the MCU projects were delayed. Hi, bud. A lot of the MCU projects delayed. Next year, only getting 1 movie. Awesome.
Thank God.
So
thank God. Honestly,
they'll start rolling out slower and slower, I'm sure. So I don't think we'll see him for a good 6-7 years. Come back and then check on him during like their next big event or something.
Next time Loki has to use a bathroom when he gets up.
Yeah, exactly. I did see that funny tweet that was like, what happens if he has to go to the bathroom, and it's like he just shits on the Sony timeline or something. the Sony villains.
I saw that.
That was funny. Great finale. Oh gosh, my son just fell.
You can deal with that. Yeah.
Father.
Bro fumbled the bag.
Bro, big time, just fumbled the bag. Kid falls on the podcast.
He's good. He's good.
All right.
As he's screaming.
Yeah. But last thing I want to say is that Loki is like, it proves that you can work within the MCU, and like, this is as convoluted as the MCU gets, and you can still make good writing and a good show. I think you just have to have a clear vision, because the showrunner said they had a 2-season plan. They're not doing another season. Like, I think this just proves you can do it. You just have to have the vision. Marvel, give your creatives the vision and stop just like changing shit last minute to make it fit in with this show. Just like, let it run its course, man. And I hope they figure it out, but they're fucking idiots, man.
Never back down, never what?
Yeah, never back down, never what.
All right, we'll wrap up our Loki season 2 review there.
Loki saved the MCU,
bro. Loki's holding the MCU on his back right now, literally and figuratively.
My very last point, and then I'll shut up. I saw a tweet that was like, Loki marks the first, or Thursday marked the first time that someone in the MCU, 2 people in the MCU were married and had their show and movie release on the same day. And I was like, that's such a niche stat line. That will never happen. You have to get 2 people to be married. You need a show's finale to end at the same time as the movie release. Like, that was the stupidest tweet I've ever seen in my life.
Was that a Blu-ray Angel tweet?
No, it wasn't.
I was just about to say that, George. I was just about to unmute myself.
Yeah, it seems like a him kind of.
That's one of his kind of
That's
tweet.
such like an absurd stat to have. I'm laughing at it.
All right, let's wrap up the MCU talk there. We were angry at first with the Marvels, and then we got happy with Loki.
We're back.
It's an abusive relation. I feel bad for like MCU fans, because like it is such an abusive relationship right now, where it's like,
no, because true MCU fans are gonna defend every project till they die.
I think a lot of people are up and down. Like, it's like, if you're a Fast and Furious fan, like, they're not up and down. If you love those movies, like, they're giving you the same quality content. Like Marvel,
at least
it's like you're super high, super low, super high, super low. But yeah, whatever.
That's so true.
Although next year, I think might be the chance to have the highest rated on average movie year for the MCU in its existence.
Given
So,
that it's a one movie,
Dude,
one movie and it'll
if-
probably be good.
If Daredevil 3 flops, scrap the MCU.
Deadpool 3, but yeah,
Like Deadpool 3, what did I say?
Daredevil 3.
Oh, my bad. If Deadpool
yeah, like-
3 flops, scrap the MCU.
Yeah, if it's like even if it's like a 3.5 or a 4, like on average for a year,
Yeah.
it's still gonna be like the best MCU year.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we're all-
can I hear the box office numbers so far for the Marvels? I haven't really been keeping track. I want to know how bad
It was like
Oh,
6.6
yeah,
million
it was like
opening
less than The
weekend.
Flash.
Yeah, it made less than the
What?
Flash. It was like
It's
6.6
real.
million.
It wasn't
Oh.
close to the Flash either. It was like 30 million less than the Flash or something. I thought.
It's gonna make
No.
it's gonna actually lose like 300 million at the box.
Probably
office.
more. It was like budget was like 270. I think it was confirmed a few days ago. Like
I thought
probably
it was
more.
than that. I think it's more
OS.
than that, but like
Plus marketing, plus
played-
everything else.
Yeah.
England paid like 150 million just for them to film there or some shit like that, so that doesn't like account to the budget. But
Oh, that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, something like
crazy
that. It's bad.
bad.
man.
Oh dear.
This is Hatman's about to be in the closet of every creative at Marvel and just like
Who's the runner of Disney? Bob Iger, right?
Bob
He's probably
Iger.
texting Zaslav, being like, "So you know how you're like not releasing movies to save money? Like, can I do that? But like after I release
Yeah.
the movie,
He's gonna pull
Like,
more.
it's not how it works, Chief." He's like,
How,
"Yeah,
how much worse is this doing compared to like Quantumania, who got like similar?
this is the
reviews?
worst
This is
MCU
the
I think
worst
of all
MCU.
time."
Yeah.
Like, is it like
This
is it a
going
lot?
to be one
worse?
of the biggest flops of all time? Like this.
Quantumania opening weekend was still really good. It had a big
Was it?
drop off, but the opening weekend was good.
Well, that's because it was meant to set things up, wasn't it? Everyone was
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah,
like,
because
there was a
everyone
lot
was
of hype
excited
going
to see
into it.
Kang.
If it were
Oh,
good,
yeah,
Quantumania would have made a shitload. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
But
probably
this-
right. You're
So
probably
this,
right.
like, no one's wrong when they say, like, yes, you have to watch 2 shows and a movie to understand what's going on. You can get it. You'll figure it out during the movie. Like, I don't think you'll be confused, but to understand it all, that's a lot of stuff to get your foot in the door to this movie.
I also think it's
Also-
because of the first Captain Marvel film. People are like, I hated that.
that made 1.3 billion.
I know, but it wasn't
That was
like
at the
because
height of
it was like Endgame.
Right.
Yeah,
Any
but-
movie they released would have made that much during
Yeah,
that time.
and it's also the sexism of Marvel fans. Like that's a point, and the
No
early
way.
reviews aren't going to help you. If it opened with a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever, probably would have done better. But 50, who's going to watch this?
Mhm.
All right, we'll move on from there from all this fun Marvel talk because we obviously all want to get around to the big release of this week, one of the biggest releases of this year, at least one of everyone's I think most anticipated releases of the year. Mr. David Fincher has collaborated with Mr. Michael Fassbender to adapt a French graphic novel entitled The Killer that dropped on Netflix yesterday. Very highly anticipated. Obviously, David Fincher, one of the kings, one of the goats of the film industry. So let's get into that review. We'll start, obviously, non-spoiler thoughts, and then we'll get into a little more spoilery stuff later down the line. Seth, we'll start with you. Thoughts on The Killer?
Yeah, so I watched it like a few weeks ago, or like 2 weeks ago. I'm glad I got to watch it in the cinema. I think this is one that's like made for the big screen. Mainly because I think it has some of the best sound design of the year. I think the sound design is crazy, crazy good. I think The Killer is one. Whilst I was looking forward to it, it wasn't like something I was really excited for because I like Fincher, like I like him. He's a great filmmaker, but I'm not like crazy on a lot of his films. But this probably surpassed my expectations in that I posted on my Twitter last night my Fincher rankings that people were very, very annoyed at me about. It comes in at 4th right now on my Fincher list, which is pretty high.
I don't hate that though. Like I think I have it at number 5.
Yeah, it's like apparently people were fucking like going crazy at me for having it over like 7.
Yeah, like I don't hate that.
And I think it's really, really, really good. I mean, not to mention I love Michael Fassbender. I think he's one of the best actors working today. And I think what I like most about The Killer is it's like, as I think I mentioned this in my review, it's like as like ruthless as it is just ridiculous and funny. It's very self-critical. It's very on the pursuit of perfection. It's very almost like a biographical piece. I can't speak. You know what I'm trying to say. Piece of Fincher's life as a filmmaker, and I think it's striving for that. And I think it's like people have compared it to. I saw Doug made a video on like the Hitman games, compared it to that, which is kind of a cool little, there's definitely homage to like Le Samurai, which I haven't seen, and other many great assassin films. I think it works so well. When it's good, it's great. When it's funny, it's really funny. It has these subtleties, these nuances, and when it comes to the big action sequences, which obviously we'll speak about in a bit, there is one like 1-to-1 fight sequence. I would say I think George says best of the year. I would say second behind what a certain one in John Wick, which obviously I'll mention. But that was just so exciting and enthralling, and I think it works on such a level that it retains the tense nature for me of Seven, Gone Girl, Zodiac, whatever, and then kind of retains that, but also adds a certain absurdist quality that I don't think Fincher has. Obviously, a lot of Fincher's films are satirical, namely Fight Club, etc. But I think it kind of works on a level where it's kind of self-critical and self-absorbed, but in a really passionate sense. I love the opening. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of like over-the-top like narration. I love that. I think it really works in this film. And I think like visually, it was so perfect, some of the shots in the opening sequence. I actually think, so I give this a 4, but I think this will go up over time. I can imagine this being like a 4.5 on another watch. I probably will watch it again because I think it's really, really great. And so far, it's one of my favorite finishes, probably ever, like in the top 4, as I say, 4th right now. And I just think I love the amount of, I know I spoke about this, but the amount of like product placement, which is obviously, there to show how many things can kill you and stuff like that. I think that's really, really clever. And I think it's just a Netflix thing. I think it's just funny. And I think that it's kind of subtle and quiet, but also loud and ambitious, and not what I was expecting at all. I remember when I saw the early reviews of it, people saw it like New York Film Festival, London here. People were talking about it like it was like a pretty run-of-the-mill Hitman film. I actually personally disagree. I think it's so nuanced in the way that it's set out. I think its narrative is run-of-the-mill and straightforward, but I think it's actually a quite critical character study of Fassbender as a character and David Fincher as a director. Yeah, really, really good for me. 4 out of 5, could potentially go up to 4.5 on rewatch. I imagine it will. Best sound design of the year and one of the best scores of the year, probably only beaten by maybe Oppenheimer for me. I think it was really, really great. So yeah, really, really liked it. Great film.
Tyler, thoughts on the film?
First off, I saw the tweet about like the DP saying like Michael Fassbender never like blinked on screen this whole movie before I watched it. So then I watched it and I was focused on it the whole
bullshit.
time. He blinks so much. He blinks hundreds of times. I
tweeted that last night, Tyler. He blinks
there's scenes where he like you can tell he's like purposely holding his eyes open longer. But watching the movie after seeing that tweet, I was like, I just kept noticing, I'm like, dude's blinking all the time. What is this cinematographer talking about? He's
the whole time, man.
Yeah. And then like the way with that, they like end the movie with him like, blinking. Like that's not a spoiler or anything. But then like I feel like they're trying to make it be like he never blinked the whole time. Like he blinks so much in this movie. I don't know what these guys are smoking and talking about. But yeah, I was gonna, so yesterday I was at the aquarium. I was gonna go see it in theaters with Riley. So happy I didn't, because she would like, this was not like an exciting, engaging, like tense thriller. I for most people, I think that they're gonna like, I think she would find it boring, and I wouldn't blame that because I didn't like love it as much as as most people. Definitely another like he's literally me movie. Like I said, my letterbox would be like, so many people are gonna be saying stick to the plan all the time now. Like it's gonna be like a thing. Yeah, Trent Reznor's score and the whole sound design was so good. And this is easily the best part of the movie for me. I listened to it like just cranked up with like these studio quality headphones on. Like that was the best part of the movie for me. I absolutely loved it. Michael Fassbender was really good. It's like a interesting, like sociopathic, psychotic performance while also being like incredibly reserved, because obviously he is like, controlling his heart rate, being super calm and collected, because when you're trying to be a perfect hitman like he is, he's got to stick to the plan, have redundancies. It's like don't be worried and stressed about things. But yeah, David Fincher's just never really been like my kind of guy, and he still kind of isn't. Like The Social Network's like my favorite movie ever, but other than that, I think I'm lower on like every Fincher film than most people. This is kind of the same for me. I was not for a single second was I really ever like engaged or like felt like the thrills of this movie. Like I was never super locked in. It was an interesting pursuit of perfection. I feel like that's Fincher's bag, like Mark Zuckerberg in The Social Network. Robert Graysmith is played by Jake Gyllenhaal in Zodiac. I think Fincher's really drawn to people trying to achieve perfection and whatever they're setting out to do. And The Killer is just another one in that universe of Fincher's analysis, people trying to be perfect. One thing I liked about the writing was that like in the beginning of the movie, he talks about like being a hitman is one of the most boring thing ever, because a lot of us you're just sitting around doing nothing. So I love how he was like making nods to like watching shows like Storage Wars and like doing stuff like the Daily Wordle. So like these are just like exactly what you would do when you're just
Real
so
life
bored.
things.
Yeah, when you're so bored.
going out and getting like McDonald's and shit.
Right,
It's crazy,
exactly.
man.
Like, I'm just gonna go grab a burger from McDonald's. So I thought that was really clever. But like Seth said, the narrative itself was really generic for a Hitman film. So it's like you kind of have to buy into the rest of it and like the character study and the voiceovers in order to like really latch onto it, which I think 99% of people are. But for me, I was just pretty bored by this, to be honest. Like I gave it a 3 out of 5. I just didn't really like get. I don't know. I just didn't love it that much. But maybe if I rewatch it, I would. But I don't know. I was a little disappointed because I think I watched it obviously after a lot of people did. So I was expecting like high things, even though I knew in the back of my mind, I'm like, I normally don't like Fincher movies as much as most people. But yeah, I haven't seen all of Fincher's movies, but this is like near the bottom for me. With
to be fair, you're not
talk
on your own. I had a lot of comments saying like pretty much the same thing. Like a lot of people, it's one of those. It's either going to really work or it's just not.
Yeah, I mean a lot. I mean the reviews on average are like super high. Like
I think if it was like a 3.6,
3.7. I mean, but
okay, yeah, low for I guess like lower for a Fincher film. That's kind of one, or a big Fincher
Yeah,
film.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get it.
I was just surprised at how much I was bored by this, honestly. But Michael Fassbender is great. He's a shit person, but he was good in the movie.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we should actually mention that because we mentioned that with Jonathan Majors and shit. Michael Fassbender's like,
Yeah, Michael Fassbender, bad guy. Like, there's a reason he probably was able to play this role so well.
Oh God.
you're not wrong.
Yeah, but I think actually I don't know what Cam rated it, but between us three,
He didn't finish it, did he?
Oh right, he didn't finish it.
I haven't finished, so
Right, I
I'm
forgot.
off with this review.
Yeah, I'm the highest between the three of us. I really fucking liked it. I did go in expecting like a little bit more of a fast-paced Hitman type of movie. I hadn't read the graphic novel prior, so I didn't really know what to expect. But
Do you want to read it?
I have it, yeah. I plan on reading it. I didn't want to read it before the movie, and I've just kind of like delayed myself ever since. But yeah, once I kind of bought into this very like drawn out, meditative kind of like half revenge.
It was meditative, yeah.
It was like super like it was just a very subtle movie, and for some reason I really like that because I think that's just the side of being a hitman that movies don't necessarily show, just how meticulous you have to be in your craft to like be an effective hitman and like stay alive in that line of occupation. And I think that's one thing David Fincher in this movie does really, really well is just it just felt like they took a lot of care in this movie, and it felt like Michael Fassbender took a lot of care in this role and in all of his mannerisms, and I just really appreciated that. I think from a technical standpoint, this movie is just meticulous. It does feel very, Fincher-esque. I feel like if I had seen this movie without knowing who the filmmaker was, I would have said David Fincher. It's just very dark. It's very gritty. It's a little more reserved and a little more introspective than, let's say his other Seven or Fight Club or Gone Girl. And I just think it makes for a little bit more of a personal experience here because, just like Joaquin and Joker, he's in every single scene. Michael Fassbender is in every single scene. So it just feels like a very intimate movie, and you're just kind of watching this hitman move from point A to point B to point C. Sorry if you could hear my dog in the background. He's going crazy right now upstairs.
It sounds like 10 dogs, bro. I thought it was like a group of them.
Oh, you could actually hear him? Damn.
Yeah. I thought it was like 10 dogs.
Annoying fucking dog. But yeah, I don't even know where I was. The dog fucking.
When you were saying about the cat, the like being so focused on him, I was surprised. Probably that the maximum amount of screen time any other cast member has is like 5 minutes. Literally.
Yeah, literally. I think it's like Tilda Swinton who has like another like 7 minutes of screen time.
I thought she'd be. I love Tilda. She's
dude. I swear, I did not know she was in the movie, and when she popped up, I was like, wow.
Did you not see her in the trailer?
Didn't watch the trailer.
Oh right, okay, because she was. But
yeah,
she was only in it for like.
I watched like the teaser, and I don't think she was in the teaser.
No.
But yeah, she pops up, and I was like, "Where the fuck did you come from?" And then she was on screen literally for like 8 minutes, and she just like completely took over, which was just unbelievable. But yeah, she's just a queen. Yeah, but I really
my favorite actress. Like working today, I think she's like mine.
She's like up there for me,
above Olivia Colman.
No,
Olivia Colman's different because Olivia Colman's a fantastic actress, but I prefer from so far. I preferred the projects. Tilda Swinton picks really interesting projects, and I haven't seen The Favourite, for example. But Tilda Swinton, like if you look for her filmography, she's done like everything recently, and I think you look at the difference in her performance in like this, for example, or like Snowpiercer. Do you know what I mean? Like she can portray so many different characteristics, and I think it's a really interesting. I think she's a really interesting actress who can do like everything. I think she's she's a true chameleon in my eyes.
She's just one of those actresses that, you know, you put her on screen in any situation, she's going to like take command. Like she's just that person. Like she's sitting across Michael Fassbender, who's, you know, in my eyes, one of the greatest of our generation, one of the greatest the last couple of, you know, decade or so. And she makes, you know, Michael Fassbender just look like a right bitch because she is just so commanding in her scene. She is just such a force. And she, again, like 8 minutes of screen time and give her supporting actress nomination.
Yeah, she was really, really good.
I do like how like the way they portrayed like a hit. Like, and I haven't seen a ton of like pure hitman movies, but so many movies are so generic. Like the one that comes to mind, which every movie falls into. So I'm not just picking out Grand Budapest Hotel, but like Willem Dafoe and Grand Budapest Hotel. Like all hitmen are like that, where it's like just a big menacing guy who's just like scary and gonna kill you. Like in reality, it's gonna have to be someone like this who's meticulous, hidden, has all these backup plans, redundancies, because like you can't, that's just not really a job you can do and get away with if you're like actually just going to be a tough guy walking from like city to city, like, oh, you need someone killed, I'll go kill him. Like you got to be an actual like psycho madman like this guy is. So I appreciated a different look on the whole hitman thing.
I love the change of locations as well. I love the constant like changing, constant doing things, going for different people. I just thought it was, I agree. Some of the Hitman films, like, I mean, did you guys watch the Hitman film based on the games? I'm assuming you did.
I'd imagine it's awful.
Shit's terrible, like awful, as all game adaptations are, obviously. But this is like a fresh, refreshing approach because it puts you in the real world, like you said, Wordle, McDonald's, again, an Amazon Prime delivery. It really puts you. The whole thing was like a fucking.
The product placement was crazy in the movie.
Not only did it make fucking them a lot of money because the amount is ridiculous, but it does work within this film because like showing real usage, a real human being in this environment, and you feel like it's actually real. So this is like a product placement where it's like, okay, yeah, that's actually really cool. Rather than you mean like I know people said I didn't watch it. The Haunted Mansion this year had like crazy amount of product placement this year, but I imagine that
sucked.
I imagine that was to the point where it was annoying. Do you know what I mean? It did work within the film, whereas this kind of does
work for this. Yeah, there's a level of campiness in The Killer that worked really well. I thought that was like one of the best thing of it. How they worked in the comedy and the campiness.
The comedy like hit. Like he drops the line, "What would John Wilkes Booth do?" And I was like, no way did they just drop that line in this fucking movie.
It's funny, like it's surprisingly
it's
funny.
Hysterical.
Like also, if you like the Smiths as well, like you're gonna fucking love this.
Yeah, that was so funny. One of my favorite. I think the top Letterboxd review right now. Hold on,
it's Rachel Sennett. Like that's that sound.
Oh no, yeah, no. The third highest Letterboxd review is least sociopathic the Smiths fan.
Wait, I'm third highest.
That dropped. Oh, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Fuck. I was
10.
there.
I'm fucking 10, bro. I was 1 at one point because I saw it early, and then everyone.
You saw it too early. Like, I'm playing the heron for me right now.
I saw that movie too early, and my review got lost in the sauce. Yeah. But yeah, you guys touched on it, but I also want to just make a note. The sound design was fucking brutal. But it was also just so anxiety driven. There was this constant like little thud, like a little heartbeat in the back of the sound design, which just. And then, like, on top of the sound design, all of a sudden, like, the movie will become, like, very distressed and very a little haunted. And the sound design will kind of, like, drop. And all you'll hear is that little heartbeat in the background. And then you have, like, Michael Fassbender's just, like, hauntingly calm narration. And I say haunting because in a line of work that he's, like, he's so calm about what he's doing. Like he's about to
earphones in, take it about.
Yeah, he's got his earphones in. He's playing the Smiths. He's narrating. He's saying, you know, what Tyler said. All the film bros will say. What was it? Don't improvise. Anticipate. Shit like that. And it's so calm when you think about what line of work he's in because he's too calm about slaughtering someone, and it just makes for such like a nerve-wracking experience. Which I fucking loved. The more I think on this movie, the more I really liked it. I wish I had seen it once more prior to reviewing this because I feel like just in case my thoughts would have changed. But after one viewing, I really enjoyed this movie. We have to talk about that one fight scene because it's obviously just like the best thing ever.
It was really, really exciting. Like it kind of caught me off guard. And it was so well shot, so intricate. It was really, really well choreographed. And it was like, I think it was, how long was it? Maybe 5 minutes, something like that.
It was, yeah, it ran for a long, and it was also just, it was so unexpected because like the whole movie was just everything he does. He was very calm. He was very strategic. So you kind of expected him to walk into this house, whatever, catch this dude lacking in the shower,
headshot,
quick headshot, gone out of the house, cleans up his mess. That's it. And then obviously he's walking into a door, and then the guy comes from behind him and tackles him, and then that leads to this fucking, yeah, like you said, Seth, it had to have been like 5-6 minutes. It ran for a long time.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it ran for a long time.
The dog's like chasing him out, and I was like so tense during.
Dude,
dog's just like.
I was like, please don't shoot the fucking dog. I was like, do not shoot the dog.
Because you know the dog starts crying when he sees the body. I was like,
yeah, I was like, damn, if you're gonna shoot the dog, I'll be fucking furious.
I was like a half a star right now.
but no, that the fight scene was just, it was very well choreographed. They did a really good job at like playing into the house and kind of using like everything at their disposal. Like they're not like there's one gun in the entire scene, and they're kind of like fumbling it back and forth. But other than that, they're throwing chairs at each other, they're throwing each other into tables. He pulls out a cheese grater at one point, and I wish, oh my God, I wish. Yeah, I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, please just scrape this dude's arm off for me real quick. Like that would be fucking fantastic. But they didn't end up using that, which I was very, very sad about, which makes me sound like a fucking psychotic idiot. But yeah, that whole fight scene was just, I don't know. It was the fact that it was just drawn out so long, and it was really like one of those things where it's like yeah, Michael Fassbender's character, the killer, is the main character, but like the scene itself does such a good job at like not really giving him this like godlike, like it's like John Wick, where like John Wick prior to 3 and 4, John Wick in movies 1 and 2, he feels like he can be defeated, and there are people that overpower him, but John Wick just uses his wit and his knowledge to win, and that's what it felt like in The Killer, where like it didn't feel like Michael Fassbender's character just had all of this plot armor. Like he was getting his ass fucking kicked,
he was getting beaten by this big guy.
Dude, he was getting dumped. He was getting dumped on for a while, and it got to a point where I was like, is this going to be the end of the movie, where like they just like he fails like this? He's been so meticulous throughout the entire movie. He's been so is that how they're going to end this movie, with him just not being like aware of his surroundings and losing because of a lapse of judgment or something? But yeah, really, really good fight scene. Really
best fight scene of the year.
Second best. The fuck?
Oh, you'll find out, won't you?
Yeah, I will. It has got to be something in John Wick, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be something in John Wick. Anything like, I mean, I know we're kind of like in spoilers, but anything specific spoilery that you guys want to talk about? I know I think we should touch on the ending, because I think that's been like a point of division for a lot of people, just because even I give this movie a 4.5, but even I can kind of see that like the ending, it's very abrupt. It kind of just like, I don't want to say comes out of nowhere, but it just feels like, I don't know. It felt like this movie had another 20 to 30 minutes of screen time worthy of it, and it just kind of ends. So
I thought we were going to get another mid-pod monster delivery right there, but I think the ending might be a little poetic to what the movie's about, like, and what hitmen are about. It's like when a hitman's after you, your life kind of just ends abruptly, and his life as a hitman kind of ends abruptly, and he kind of blinks and he kind of realizes he's like, okay, can finally have a little bit of reprieve here. So, like, I think if you read into it that way, it can kind of make some logical sense. Whereas if you're watching it as like a standard thriller that you want to get, like excitement and enjoyment and a standard movie out of. The ending might be abrupt, like you said. I didn't realize it was like dividing people, but I guess I could see it. Like the ending is a little abrupt, but I think it's kind of like the ending of everyone in this movie's life is very abrupt. I mean, we're in spoilers now. Like Tilda Swinton's, I mean, it's abrupt in terms of how it happens for the viewer, but I think she obviously knew. She's like, either he's dying or I'm dying right now. Like I don't think she expected to survive that if she wasn't going to kill him there, because obviously we see she had like the knife in her hand when he shoots her. Quick side note, like Cam texted, he's like, because he didn't finish, he's like, 40 minutes in, there's been no kills. Like 10 minutes in, there's a kill. Like, or at least I guess we don't do it. I don't think we get.
Well, I don't.
No clue if she died or not. She was shot in the leg.
But I mean, she was sniped, and she like I don't know. I feel like she probably.
I was incorrect, but still.
But she was also like a prostitute or something, right? So I don't think they were rushing to get her medical attention. I'm sure they were rushing to save the guy. They probably just let her there to die.
I'm just saying, she. All right. Still, one kill in 45 minutes, and as soon as I sent that text to, he killed that like cab driver right after. And I was like, oh, there. But I did forget about that.
Yeah, I was honestly a little annoyed when he shot that woman too, because like, and I guess like that's kind of the point of the movie is like you're always chasing perfection, but you're never going to be perfect. But he just had so many opportunities to kill that guy, and then like right even before he pulled the trigger, I'm like, this is not the time to pull it. What are you doing here? Like I get it was like he's running.
Like I was also thinking like we don't even get this guy at his peak for the like at the. I kind of figured he'd start off being this crazy killer, and then something would happen, which is kind of opposite. But we didn't even see him at his peak. Nice.
Yeah, you wanted to see some clean kills.
Yeah.
Clean kills for a little.
Like I mean, all he does is monologue to himself and trying to become perfect, and he's messing up the first kill we see in the movie. Like, come on, man, you had like 2 minutes before to just kill that guy, but he was a horny dude. He's alone most of the time. He was just like watching. He's like, you know what? Let's see where this goes for a little bit. Let's see if I get any little peaks before
his kill with the nail gun. I thought was hysterical because he jams 3 into this dude's chest, and he's like, "You got about 20 minutes," and then like 3 minutes later, this dude is dead, and he's like, "Oh shit!" He's like, "Fuck!"
And the dude just falls over like on the chair, and then he's like quickly like throws like a newspaper under him. He's like catching all the blood. He's like, "Don't want to make it spill."
Oh my god! And then this is where I thought the movie was going to take like a slight turn. The guy he kills with the nail gun had like the assistant that he takes hostage to go get that information. I truly thought he was going to let her go, and that was going to be like I thought that was going to be like the downfall of his character, where he does show empathy and he does let her go, and that would eventually come back to bite him in the ass. But he just snaps her neck right on the spot and just drops her out of nowhere. Because I was truly in the mindset that like, okay, this is going to be like the turning point of his character. He's going to let her go, and it's going to lead to some bad shit for him. But nope, snapped her neck.
That's crazy.
Done.
Yeah.
Anything else spoilery you guys want to talk about?
No, I think it was Joel.
All right, well, that'll wrap up kind of our review of The Killer. Seth, 4. Myself, 4.5. Tyler, 3. Cam, undecided because he has yet to finish the movie. For me, this sits at number 5 of my David Fincher ranking right now. I'd be curious to see on rewatch if this goes up or down. But I will say, for some reason, I haven't rewatched like Seven or Fight Club or Zodiac.
I haven't rewatched Zodiac. Zodiac's 3 right now, but I haven't rewatched it in like 3 years.
Yeah,
I rewatched Zodiac the most, I think, in his. I guess I haven't in a while, but I used to watch it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, The Social Network is one I revisit pretty often, obviously, but like I don't know, for some reason I don't find myself revisiting a lot of Fincher films the way I do a lot of other filmmakers. So I'd be curious to go through his filmography once more.
My Tarantino, like in a way where I like all the films, or like most of them, but I never find myself rewatching them at any point. I just don't go back to them.
Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say the same about Tarantino too. Outside of like Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, believe it or not, those two I find myself rewatching pretty often. But yeah, let's what? Who?
I was gonna say for me, this is like I said, I've only logged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Finchers. It's second to last for me. The only one below it is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. But even though I'm lower than most, I feel like most like diehard Fincher fans wouldn't like hate my ranking of The Social Network, Fight Club, Gone Girl, Seven, Zodiac, then The Killer, then Curious Case of Benjamin Button. So even though I'm like lower than most on Fincher, I feel like my order of them, like I feel like a lot of Fincher stans wouldn't hate. So
Yeah, makes sense. I think mine will probably go up actually on rewatch. I think it'll go to to third. I think
Social Network for me is just miles above
it
everything.
is
else.
kind of weird how like George, do you have the Social Network at first?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, it's Cam. Do you have the Social Network at first?
Yeah, we've done this.
But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
also like
Yeah.
I have the Social Network at first, but I'm like unlike Tyler. Like for me, it's his number one, but like I don't have 7 that far behind on like my all-time great
Yeah.
rankings.
I only have
Like I love 7.
I only have a 5, and then I think it's 4s or Gone Girl is a 4.5, then the rest like 4s, 3s. But I think that Social Network, it's not his highest rated like on Letterboxd stuff, so it is kind of
No.
surprising that we all have it number 1.
Is it really not? What's his highest
It's
rating?
fourth. Like Fight
It's-
Club
it's
7
like
or
Fight Club
5.3,
7,
Gone
Gone
Girl
Girl.
4.1.
The film bros prevail.
Yeah.
Sophie's
Social
like the biggest
Network.
Fincher fan in the world, though, and that's her favorite. Her favorite is the Social Network.
Yeah,
also.
Social
It's
Network.
kinda like the
It's
King
surprising.
Fincher.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think
All right, let's move on. That'll wrap up our killer, our really all of our reviews, the Marvels, Loki, the Killer. Cam, you and I, if you want to touch on Invincible real quick. We've only gotten 2 episodes, so there's really
we don't
not.
have to go crazy.
Yeah, we don't have to go crazy. It's only 2 episodes, so
I
before
would
you.
say it's like so clearly back. Great 2 episodes.
Yeah, I mean the only annoying thing about Invincible is how long we had to wait for season 2. The first 2 episodes I've really liked. It's upholding like that brutality. I like the character of Invincible. I think he's got a lot of Peter Parker inspiration where he's struggling to kind of balance that, just teenage high school kid life with the life of this all-powerful superhero. But yeah.
I like that his girlfriend knows, so like he doesn't have to do this stupid trope of like hiding it from everyone.
Yeah.
All of his friends know and all
Yeah.
that jazz.
His mom knows, everyone knows. It's fun. It just makes for a very fun experience. But yeah, not a lot to touch on. It's only 2 episodes, I'm
Fucking
sure.
bang, though.
Yeah,
Shout
it do be banging.
It's like I think so. I think we get 2 more episodes, so that'll take us to like the end of November, and then the next 4 drop in 2024.
Oh, what? I did not know
so
that.
we get the first 4, and then the next 4, maybe like the last 2. I forget how many episodes exactly it is. Drop in 2024. So there's going to be another break, George.
Well, that's annoying. I didn't fucking know that.
Right.
All right. Damn, sucks. But yeah, we'll keep that'll pretty much wrap up our Invincible review. There's really not much to talk about. It's just 2 episodes. The first episode was very introductory. The second episode does kind of lean into the more big bad of the series. But we'll come back in, I guess, months' time and give you, overall spoilery thoughts when the season is over. Or maybe we'll do it after these 4 episodes. But let's jump into a couple of news, or not even news, just a couple of trailers. First, we have the Inside Out 2 trailer.
Literally me.
What?
Literally me. That is so me.
Yeah, we got introduced to Anxiety, which is the new Literally Me character out there.
me. Yeah.
Just the funniest design of any character I've ever seen in an animated movie.
There was a tweet of like all the new emotions that were experienced, and the funniest like reply I've ever seen was my 4 new emotions would have been like angry, or it was like something horny, angry at nothing. And I was like, that's so fucking funny. Like high school. They should have added horny. Like that would have been fucking.
I mean, yeah, that God, but yeah, the trailer. That would be funny as fuck, but I don't think they're gonna go there. But the trailer itself, I'm pretty sure just broke the single day record for like trailer viewed, maybe animated or Pixar or maybe of all time.
Really? Shit.
It had like 157 million views in like 24 hours or something.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's Pixar alone or if that's just any trailer ever. But yeah, that's crazy. I know I'm a little higher on Inside Out than you guys. It's my number 2 ranked Pixar film. It used to be number 1, and then I rewatched Coco, and I was like, damn, Coco fucking bangs too.
Yeah, I'm not. I think it's like my 18th. That's something I can't lie. This is good.
But yeah, I need to.
Animated trailer of all time, 157 million.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, it's just animated as well. It's crazy.
I mean, that's still crazy considering we had Spider-Verse trailer.
Okay. Sorry, Disney's most watched animated, but that includes
Okay.
I gotta assume. But most watched trailer of all time, the trailer's been out for like 2 days, so that's kind of crazy.
Where have
I
you
don't know
seen
if
it?
it
I
meant
haven't
opening
seen it
weekend or
trailer.
Yeah.
literal
I mean, I'd imagine the most watched trailer of all time is probably the first or second Endgame trailer.
I think it's up there.
Yeah, or The Force Awakens.
Yeah, or the
Lion-
Force
the
Awakens
Lion King,
trailer.
live action trailer is also very high.
Hold on,
Dibs on that TikTok.
I'm googling this right now.
Dibs.
I
Hold
want
on.
to know this. This is a fact I want to know.
Yeah, I'm googling
No,
this right
Avengers
now.
Endgame has 157 million now.
Okay, so here, most watched trailers within 24 hours of release. Okay, does anyone want to take a guess at number one?
Endgame or
Force Awakens.
The
not
the
Endgame.
the Endgame teaser trailer is number two,
Oh, teaser.
and the Endgame final trailer is number 3.
No Way Home.
Yeah, the No Way Home teaser
yeah.
trailer.
Must
Well
be.
above 356 million in
That shit
24
was-
hours.
that shit did go crazy.
Jesus Christ.
That goes crazy.
Because that's the one that ends with like the Green Goblin laugh or something.
Yeah.
Like it also has like it has.
Oh, look at that. YouTube actually has. Wow, this is interesting. YouTube actually has a playlist of their most watched trailers on YouTube. So this is strictly YouTube numbers. Anyone want to take a guess at number one?
No Way Home.
I'm telling you,
It's nothing we've mentioned so far.
But,
Is it a franchise film?
Yes.
Is
it
it
Marvel
within the
one?
last 5 years?
It is, yes, last 5. Yeah, no.
Is it the
technically-
Batman? Is it the Batman?
No. It is the Infinity War official trailer.
Oh.
Number 2, surprisingly, at 164 million views, is the Incredibles 2 trailer.
Really?
That movie's awesome. I like
Yeah.
The Incredibles too.
Number 3 is the Endgame official trailer. Number 4 is Hobbs and Shaw.
No.
And number 5, right above Force Awakens at number 6, number 5 is the Despicable Me 2 trailer.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. That's crazy.
That is so funny. But all right, yeah. So that, I mean, 157 million in 24 hours for Inside Out 2 is a disgustingly high number. Another trailer we got this week that I think I'm probably the only one that's incredibly excited about is the Last Airbender trailer. Did you guys even watch the trailer?
Hell yeah, it looks great.
I think it looks fantastic. I'm still nervous because it is still Netflix. I know Netflix,
Is it a show? It's a show. Isn't
It's a show. It's a show, and it's also like the start of a cinematic universe. Like they have other shows planned, they have other movies planned. I had posted a TikTok about this like a year ago. This has been in the works forever. So having a trailer is just crazy because I feel like this is something like, I don't know, it's something that we've just been waiting for forever. Like the news dropped and it obviously went viral very quickly a while ago that they were planning a cinematic universe and a Netflix live action show. So everyone's been like eagerly anticipating just anything.
I saw the animal thing on Twitter.
Yeah, Appa looks dope. Appa looks dope. Appa and Momo, they both look dope. I think all of the characters look great. I think they all are cast very well in terms of how they look. Obviously, that sentiment can change if they suck at acting, which we will see when the show drops. But yeah, I think the design of the show looks awesome. I know there was a little bit of, controversy behind the scenes where the original writers or creators of the animated show left due to a few creative differences here and there. So that obviously puts me on edge and just makes me a little weary of the final product. But yeah, overall, I thought the trailer was fucking just awesome. They brought back the original theme, and in my TikTok reaction video, I got so many comments like, never seen bro smile before. Bro showing more emotion than I've ever seen him show in my life. And I was like, yeah, well, that's what the show does to me, man. The show is fucking awesome. So I'm really excited about that. That pretty much, yeah, that was really the only movie news that we want to talk about between the two trailers, the strike, and then just a couple of projects like Beyond the Spider-Verse that are returning to production because of the strike.
The Darren Aronofsky Elon Musk movie.
Oh my God! I completely forgot that. I saw that news. It went in one ear and out the other because I thought I was disbust at first. I thought I was
disgusted.
I thought that was yeah. Tyler, did you make that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was bored last night, man.
I was gonna say, I was like, did you make that or did you find that? Because that is just. I hate that. I mean, it's cool, but I hate every part. But yeah, I don't know. Darren Aronofsky is a very hit or miss filmmaker for a lot of people. He's coming off The Whale, which obviously was a very polarizing film that I don't think anyone on this podcast liked. Am I wrong?
Tyler
likes it a lot.
Tyler liked it.
I think I'm not.
Seth, you give it like
I
a
liked it
1.
fine.
Or,
think
No, I didn't give it a
like
1. I give it a
3 maybe.
2.
okay.
I think it's better than average, but I didn't. Maybe a 3.5. Maybe I gave it a 4.5. Who knows?
But like we said before, you have to be a special type of like somebody to get a biopic made about you while you're still alive, like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk. Like,
Yeah.
you have to have done something crazy remarkable and be polarizing. So like shout out them for at least achieving somewhat of a stature in life.
Though. I hate Elon Musk. I just
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone does.
Yeah.
I don't really hate him.
Fuck you for ruining Twitter, Elon Musk.
The most annoying dude on Twitter. Cam, do you remember when you watched Mother because you thought you were watching Bong Joon-ho's movie and you watched Darren Aronofsky's movie?
No, I knew what I was watching.
Oh, I thought
did
you
you
were.
watch that?
I thought
What?
you did it by mistake.
Emma picked that movie. No, I knew what I was watching.
Oh, I thought.
Emma picked that movie.
Wait, you watched? Sorry,
I
you
don't
watched
know.
Bong Joon-ho's or you watched Aronofsky's Mother?
Yeah, I thought you wanted to watch Bong Joon-ho's movie, but you were watching.
I didn't even.
Oh
know
yeah,
we
because
had
you
a
didn't
Bong
like
Joon-ho movie.
Mother, did you?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Emma wanted to watch that. It was a long while ago, but yeah, she was like, I think she saw it on Twitter or something.
That was an interesting film.
Yeah.
I actually really like that film, to be honest.
I haven't seen that film in a while.
Neither of us liked it.
Aronofsky's got another interesting fucking filmography.
Yeah, it's fucking weird, man.
Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream, and then he
Do
drops.
you like Black Swan less after watching Perfect Blue?
No, not at all.
I do.
I mean, I think Perfect Blue is the better movie, but it
It's
doesn't.
so like derivative, but I think Black Swan's still really good. But it's
Yeah,
like,
I don't think it it doesn't hinder my experience with Black Swan. I think Black Swan is still a very
yeah, I think it's
interesting
still
look
really
at like
good.
mental health and anxiety.
I think
but-
it's still one of his best films. I don't know.
I think it is.
I think Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe Requiem for a Dream. They're my top 2, and I think they're leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of
Yeah,
his
I agree.
filmography.
I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy that he does like these pieces that are just like so clearly a dissection of like mental health and anxiety, and then he drops Noah with Russell Crowe.
I didn't think that was that bad. I'll be honest.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, if I'm being honest. I have it logged as watched, but I don't have a rating on it.
Yeah.
But it's just like it's a crazy filmography, and then he drops a sports movie, and yeah, it's just a very interesting filmography. But all right, we'll go into we won't harp on our quick discussion too long because I think we spent a little more time on the Marvels and the Killer than we had anticipated. But in the spirit of, don't apologize at all. That's a good thing. But in the spirit of the Killer and action and just action sequences, no ranking, no, whatever, just an open discussion on our favorite fight sequences in film.
We should specify. So when I heard fight, I specifically went like hand to hand or
I'm
sword rather than like a big like battle or like a
yeah. I'm not throwing out like Helm's Deep or the end game
like,
final battle. Like I was thinking strictly like hand to hand, very like John Wick upgrade, the Killer type stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, does anyone have anything just at the ready to go? Obviously, we talked about Killer a lot.
Do you want me to just say my list or just say a few?
Go through your list.
Okay, so this is like a list of like I think it's 10 I made. So the first one, Old Boy Hallway. I'm sure Tyler will have it on there as well. I think
Figured that would be the first thing out of
Yeah, I love that one. George, the best scene of the year for me, action scene is John Wick 4. It's the nightclub sequence.
Yeah.
Scott Adkins.
Okay.
Fucking amazing. Then we have, I think, obviously George. I think he's the only one seen it. The Raid. I picked the lab sequence, the narcotics lab.
Okay.
Crazy. Yep. Then I have Shrek and Donkey versus Farquaad's Knights. Bro, that's a fucking banging scene. Like Shrek 1.
Hell yeah.
Also, speaking about hand to hand, Fiona versus the Robin Hood guys in the first one as well. Crazy. Then I have 1v1, the end of the Northman, actually. The fight at the end of the Northman.
Thank you for dropping that.
So good. Then I have George, have you seen Fists of Fury?
I have not, no.
Have you not seen it? The one with Bruce Lee?
No.
It's a fucking amazing like martial arts scene where he takes out like a whole school, and that is crazy. Then I have The World's End, the bathroom scene, where they fight the like robot alien, whatever. And I have two more. I have you've seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, George, haven't you?
Yes.
The end sword fight with Michelle Yeoh, fucking some of the best choreography.
Incredible.
And then I am going to shout out a Marvel one here because I think it deserves to be mentioned.
Do it. Winter Soldier, do it.
Winter Soldier elevator scene. Yeah. I think the elevator scene is really, really well done. It's really short. It's really short, but I think that's the best choreographed piece of action in the MCU. Maybe some of Shang-Chi's.
I was gonna say the Shang-Chi, the first battle when they're in like that.
That's cool.
Fighting ring, but it's like Shang-Chi and it's against his dad's like guys.
But also they're up there, yeah.
This may be a hot take. I think the elevator scene in Winter Soldier is the best hand-to-hand combat scene in that movie. But that bridge sequence, the first time, that's not far behind for me. Like I don't think there's as big a gap as a lot of people say.
No, it's also good. I think the Winter Soldier and Shang-Chi specifically clearly have the best hand-to-hand combat sequences in the whole MCU, like by far.
And while we're on superheroes, I am surprised you didn't bring up V for Vendetta.
Oh no, I was going to say I missed the superhero one. The Spider-Man Doc Ock train fight scene.
Yeah, that's fantastic too. But I thought you were going to bring up the V for Vendetta thing, the scene where he says ideas are bulletproof and then he mows down.
I haven't seen it in like 4 years.
Yeah, so that I think is up there. You said John Wick 4, so I'll throw out John Wick 3, the hotel sequence at the very end, the very neon scene, very dark. I think that's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's really good.
I think there's so much you can pull from Daniel Craig's entire Bond franchise. I think that's where the Bond franchise excels the most in hand-to-hand combat. Same thing with Mission Impossible. Obviously, there's just a lot going on, especially, I'm sure Cam was going to mention it, the bathroom scene in Fallout.
Yeah, of course.
Like, it's just fucking fantastic. And then I'll throw out one from, was it last year? Yeah, last year. I believe it was the opening sequence of RRR, where he's just running through that crowd, beating the fuck out of everyone.
There's like thousands of people, and this guy's just mowing them down.
Dude, it's so funny because that movie opens with that sequence, and I was like, oh, okay, we're starting like this guy's a god, and then we cut to the other dude who's holding a tiger back with just 2 arms and 2 chins. And I was like, okay, this is the type of movie we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, I actually forgot to put that on mine. I was going to put that.
Hysterical. Tyler or Cam, anything you guys want to read off?
Tyler, if you have a list, you got it.
Yeah. I know another MCU one I really love is the Cap Iron Man Winter Soldier one. That fight scene.
Didn't you just post that on Twitter? You posted it with something.
I posted the Endgame portal saying like this is what everyone I'm filming.
No. You posted the 3-way, and you said something.
Time, La La Land.
Yeah,
fighting to be my favorite movie.
That's a great scene.
Then from last year, Everything Ever All at Once. You can pick a lot of scenes, but my favorite's the Ke Huy Quan against like all the security guards at the beginning when he like has the fanny pack.
Yeah,
that's a cool scene. Cliff Booth versus entire Manson cult. Great fight scene.
That's actually a really good one.
Saving Private Ryan, the fight to the death when like the American and the Nazi like both run out of bullets and they just have to like fight with the knife in this like epic scene. Kingsman church scene.
Oh wow!
I thought you were going to mention that.
I can't believe I forgot that.
Yeah, every single ending scene of Anchorman movies.
Even though you hate that movie.
Yeah, but the ending scenes are fun. Rocky versus Ivan Drago. I know Apollo Creed's the one most people go to, but
that's a good point. Actually, we should have. That's a good.
Yeah,
like as in putting like the Rocky, like I really like the Creed one with Tony Bellew. Was that the first Creed or then Creed?
I should have thought one-shot fight was going to be my number one.
That one's great too. Yeah, I just wanted to shout out the Ivan Drago one because that's the one that like put Sylvester Stallone like.
That's a great one.
Almost killed Sylvester Stallone because I guess they didn't really fake much of the fighting in that movie, and Dolph Lundgren like literally almost killed the guy. And then last one is the end of Blade Runner, Deckard and Batty fighting.
Oh yeah,
but that's all that I had on my list. Cam?
Yeah, my big pull was the one-shot fight from Creed 1. That's like my favorite.
Which was that? I can't picture it.
Is that the one where he's laying down and then he like takes a big breath and gets back up, or is that from Creed 2?
That's Creed 2, the final fight. The ones this is his like second fight or first.
Oh yeah, it's not the end fight.
It's not
the end fight. Okay, yeah. That's my favorite. I think
it just like dances around the ring with him. It's awesome. That's my favorite.
So good.
And then shout out an animated one. Ahsoka versus Maul, not really hand to hand.
Oh yeah. Okay, I didn't know we were going.
Now we're
Yeah, I
going
didn't
like
know where we were
lightsabers,
going
aren't we?
No,
guys?
now we're going TV show routes. Okay, that opens up.
just-
Oh, I thought you would have had
that's
some Star Wars
there's a
ones, hadn't
lightsaber in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
And
just
then,
gas.
I didn't really know what we were going for, but I just watched the Order of the Phoenix. Without a doubt, the best fight in
Yeah.
Harry
Oh,
Potter is
Now we're going down a wormhole because
I
I've got so
know.
many Harry
It's
Potter.
still 1-1, so I'm keeping it on here. That's without a doubt the best one in that. And then you mentioned the John Wick or the Mission Impossible fight. That's like the best fight in that one is the bathroom. I had others, but I never made a list, so I was just like thinking about it throughout the week, and those were the ones that I remember.
I'm gonna shout out an MCU one that just comes to my head. I remember when I watched this first time. Actually, like one of the most enjoyable parts of the film for me. And yes, MCU one.
I'm like really.
Phase number.
Is it the hallway fight scene with
No.
Spider-Man and Green Goblin? Because that
No.
thing, that kind of.
Actually, yes, but no.
the
but
hallway from
no.
Guardians 3?
No.
No.
Is it? Yeah,
It's Hulk versus Thanos when Hulk just gets done.
Oh yeah.
And I actually think that's kind of cool.
Hulk versus Thor and Ragnarok. We'll toss that out there. That's fantastic.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I'll bring us back to reality with actually just action movies. Upgrade from 2018, I think, is just one of the most like stylistic choreographed.
Tom Hardy, who's not Tom Hardy.
No, that is not with Tom.
Yeah,
oh, the guy that looks like Tom Hardy. Okay,
Tom Hardy,
then yes, it is with Walmart Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen Brawl in Cell Block 99, Vince Vaughn's best performance, but there are so many just brutal fucking action or just fight sequences. Just like God, like they don't hold back in showing you some shit. Surprised none of us have mentioned Kill Bill.
Shit.
Yeah, volumes 1 and 2, they both have some really interesting and just fun choreographed action sequences.
The end of one is sick.
Yeah, Nobody, the movie with Bob Odenkirk.
You're gonna say the bus scene by any chance?
Yeah, the bus scene is exactly where I was going with that. Or even like that final battle with his dad. I think that's really but yeah, the bus scene is the one that kind of stands out. John Wick's nephew, I guess we'll call it. Yeah, other than that, that's really all I got. If we're throwing out fantastical shit, I'm gonna throw out Pacific Rim. Get some Jaegers versus some monsters in there. Yeah,
there are so many from Ip Man that you could mention as well. You've seen Ip Man, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean,
there are so many from Ip Man.
Every other scene.
Yeah, they're hard. Like the martial arts films? Because it's all great. Just name the film. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's all so
good. Oh wow, Wanted with James McAvoy and Angelina Jolie. I think that has some really cool fight sequences.
99 years.
Damn, I'm trying to go through just my action movies right now. Just trying to see what we've forgotten.
There will be some 100%.
Sometimes, God, the letterbox genres sometimes just piss me off so much.
You could say some of the Lord of the Rings ones, I'm thinking, but it's just tough, man, because most of them are group ones.
What pisses me off more about letterbox ratings isn't the fact that they give every genre to a movie. It's that there's so many genres on letterbox that don't add in. There's so many things I'm trying to do a thriller ranking, and I'm this movie's clearly a thriller, and that's just a drama. I'm
Pulp Fiction being one of the main ones,
right? So because most times I complain because I'm so many movies on letterbox are 20 genres, but there's also so many that just have one. When I'm no, this is clearly else also.
Yeah.
Lots of good fight scenes in movies, lots of bad ones, but sometimes we got to talk about the good movies.
I'll mention, because I'm an MMA fan, I love the film Warrior with Tom Hardy and Joel Edgerton. I think the final fight sequence, both of them, is actually as an MMA fan, really well shot and really well done. I think some of them are really good in that film. I really like Warrior. I need to rewatch it actually. Have you guys all seen Warrior? I'm assuming you have.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. Yeah,
I think
my UFC phase.
Did Nick Nolte win an Oscar for that? I feel like he did. We should have done. He was so fucking good in that film.
I don't believe so.
Did he not? I thought he did for some reason. That's about it. There's probably There are some really cool. I really like the end of the first Pirates of the Caribbean with Jack and Barbosa. They keep going into when it's Jack first finds out he's got the skull thing where he just shows dead in the light at night, and they're like fighting, they're going back and forth into the light. That's so fucking cool. Man.
Even the ending of At World's End, the third part, with Jack versus Davy Jones. That shit bangs.
Yeah. Even
makes no sense, but it bangs.
Yeah. Even in the first Pirates of the Caribbean, when Jack's like fighting Will in like the what's it called? What is
the island of Tortuga?
No, what's it called? Where they fight in
in the blacksmith shop.
Blacksmith.
Yeah.
And they're like jumping around. I think that's fucking cool.
We haven't mentioned the Matrix, which is kind of crazy.
Oh, do you know what's funny about the Matrix? Do you know the second Matrix film? You know the fight with Agent Smith that goes like a million Agent Smiths that goes on for like an hour? That was ridiculous. It goes on for so long. There's so many of them. Yeah, there's some really good ones in the Matrix, especially the first one, I would say. I can't really think
There are
of
a ton, especially if we're not including like big battles.
Yeah, if you were saying like Lord, like if we include like Helm's Deep and
then the whole other discussion.
Seven Samurai, Ran, and stuff like that. They could all get in there.
Yeah. Oh, we just reviewed it on the podcast, Edge of Tomorrow.
Oh shit! Yeah,
I'll toss that out. There's some interesting, science fiction battles or fight sequences.
There are some good ones in that. No doubt.
And Cam, you brought up Star Wars. I'm surprised you didn't bring up the Revenge of the Sith.
No, I thought you'd bring up Darth Maul versus Thingy in
You were the chosen one.
What was the Darth Maul? What was that
say all the time? It's against Qui-Gon, is what you're talking. I assume. I say all the time.
Who's
I think
Qui-Gon?
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, that's the one. I thought you'd say that one.
Well, I say all the time that's over choreographed, unfortunately, I think. And I think that's because I think I've said this probably on the pod. I've definitely said it before. I think I watched a YouTube video that kind of like shows where they like aim like above the head and don't ever hit someone, and it ruined my perception of it. And then
stop watching YouTube videos.
True.
All right. Well, and then the end of Revenge of the Sith, I've said I think it's overly long. Oh, but it's all right.
Yeah, I can't find any more. There's guaranteed to be a lot more missed, though, to be fair.
But yeah, we could wrap up that discussion there. Just a little discussion on action movies. But that'll pretty much wrap up our episode there.
I got executive producers good to go if you want me to go through.
I got it. I just pulled it. Yeah, I got him out. First off, I forgot. I failed to mention this at the beginning of the podcast. Like always, we're all over social media. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So again, we can't thank everyone enough for your constant support. We're 61 episodes in, which is just crazy. We had our year episode a couple months ago. So we're still going strong. Obviously, a couple hiccups here and there with, I won't be on next week's episode, unfortunately, and then I'll make my return for Thanksgiving. So, we're all over the place a bit, but we're still trying to pump out weekly episodes just because you guys keep us going. Your love, your support is what keeps us going. And then shout out our patrons. Shout out to everyone in the Discord. You guys are active as fuck every single day, and then we love to see it. Shout out to our executive producers, Al Bodie, Alexander Kepar, Mac Wells, Stefan Johnson, Seven Mod Jeffy, AJ Quigley, Alex Bisco, Ben Legge, Ben Hansey, Benjamin Vetch, Bram Vitz, Cody Whitney, Connor Connaughton, sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, I definitely did, Dakota Buckner, Dean Katamanidis, Dylan Chip, Ferdinando Four, Hamish Edwards, Isaiah Villa, James Magos, Jimmy O'Connor, John Anderson, Jordan Gagg, Josh Hines, Casper Lundberg, Luke Deerhog, Marcellus, Matthew Bradley, Mitch Glenn, Raheem Bates, Reese David, Remy Walker, Rocco 1.0, Russell Hahn, Robert Leo Gizlazin, apologize again if I pronounced that incorrectly, Sam Soria, Sean Morales, Tatum Bougie, Trey Arzi, Will Kim, Eunice BBX, and Zach Graves. Come back on Thursday. What's on Thursday, Tyler?
Well,
Is
actually,
it-
on Wednesday we'll be having our Q&A.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Thursday
Q&A.
we'll be having our draft of feel-good movies, and Friday's our review of Sunshine by Danny Boyle.
Hell yeah, one of my favorites. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you all on Wednesday.